So we get set for action here at Bobby Dodd Stadium at Hyundai Field. Not a cloud in the sky. Robin's Egg blue overhead. And good to be back. And Georgia Tech would look to come back reinvigorated from that bye after they were pushed to the brink with that 30-29 overtime win over Wake Forest.
Well, couldn't ask for a more beautiful day at the ballpark, Andy. And now we get to see what Buster Faulkner has been cooking up with a little extra week off. Always one to have creative play design. I'm excited to see what he might have come up with a little time alone in his office.
Virginia Tech is still 104th nationally in yards per play allowed. They're giving up 5.87 yards a play. They're 120th nationally in plays of 20-plus yards, those so-called explosives that Brenke always identifies as a category you need to control in order to win. Doubtful to have many runbacks today. Kyle Lowe is the kickoff specialist for the Hokies. He's 26 of 29 on touchbacks. Aiden Burr is 30 of 33. Shane Marshall and Dalen Gordon ranging at the goal line to our left. Now Lowe is kicking into the wind. It's a little snappier than we anticipated today. So might this hang this up and coax a run back out of the Yellow Jackets. Ball is on the tee. We are all set. The drop of the arm by Lowe. Tries to the tee. Toe meets leather. They were underway. It's a high arcing kick. Fielded 2 yards out by Marshall. Sprints past the 15. Tries to break it right, but runs into a stack across the 20 to the 21. So out comes Haynes King. Set a school record with his 13th career game with both a rushing and passing touchdown versus Wake Forest on the year, completing 68.5% of his passes. 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 95 rushing yards per game, and a team-high 7 touchdowns. Jackets again from left to right as we see it. You hear it in the first quarter. He holsters Haynes behind him in the pistol. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Fakes the outside zone, slips it on the slip screen. It's caught by Rutherford to shake and bake up to the 25. And give him the 26 on the stretch. A pickup of 5 for Malik Rutherford on his team-leading 17th catch of the year.
An effective first down play. Georgia Tech trying to get Malik Rutherford going early, but Tyson Flowers all over it, able to stop for just a 5-yard gain.
Tech to the line quickly, 2-by-2 receivers. King motions out Haynes, the clap, the snap. He ranges back to throw. Underneath route, it's caught by Stockton, slips a tackle, loops it up the hash, and he's got the first down to the 34. Simple pitch and catch to the redshirt sophomore Bailey Stockton.
A little nifty footwork by Bailey Stockton in the open field. And these are some of the pass routes that Georgia Tech had some success with when they finally got the passing game going against Wake Forest. Just simple curls and hitches.
King works under center this time. He clusters 3 receivers tight right. Sends Rivers in motion. Pitches it right side to Jamal Haynes. Tries to hit a crease. He's hit from the side and spilled at the 37. A gain of 3 for Jamal Haynes. And we really want to see Jamal get activated. Just 10 carries, 21 net yards against Wake.
Well, that was a really nice play by Virginia Tech linebacker Noah Chambers, scraping over the top. There was a seam that closed quick. Nice, nifty play design. Fake left, pitch out to the right.
Noah Chambers, a true freshman. King with Haynes. High snap, puts it in the belly of Jamal. Hunting for room up the gut. A struck pile past the 40, up to the 41. It's a gain of 3 and sets up 3rd and 3. The tackle by the Georgia Southern transfer, El Haj Fall, redshirt junior from Marietta.
There wasn't a ton there on that play, but Jamal Haynes got all of it. Just moving the pile, running his feet. Clearly a design to try to get him comfortable early. In Georgia Tech in 3rd and 3, a very manageable situation, a place where this offense is comfortable.
Against a Hokies defense that's 14th in the ACC, allowing 41% conversions. They'll go 5 wide empty set for King. Measures up a 4-man front. Calls Haynes in motion. Cradles, runs off right tackle. He's got blocks 45, and he's got the first down up to the 47. That's just simple, straight-ahead running, following the lead block of Keelan Rutledge, and a flag toss at the end of the play as Kamari Copeland, the defensive tackle, was kind of rolled up on top of Keelan Rutledge and kind of very obviously tried to roll over Keelan's legs, and that might be 15 yards going in Georgia Tech's direction.
And that play does my old offensive line heart good. I mean, that's exactly how you do it. Keelan Rutledge pushed it all the way to the edge, making the defender as angry as can be. Whistle blows. Hey, it's all over. I wasn't doing anything.
Yep. It's
always the second guy, children. It's always the second guy.
Life lessons from Andrew Gardner. 12:46 first quarter, and with that penalty, Georgia Tech has it 1st and 10 at the 38, and they're now going to review that last play. So they enforced the penalty, and going to take a second look for a potential targeting, I presume, on the tackle of Haynes King. So 12:46 in our opening quarter, no score. Look forward to bringing you our Impact Player of the Game today, brought to you by Georgia Natural Gas. Live the greener life and make your natural gas usage carbon neutral at gng.com/green. While they review the last play, let's go down to the sidelines and introduce the third member of our broadcast team, Chris Mooneyham. Chris.
Thanks, Andy. As the Jackets return home today, the Institute in full celebration mode with numerous activations and events. First of all, Hall of Fame weekend to honor the 35th anniversary of Georgia Tech's 1990 national championship team. They'll be honored during today's game. Finally, today is also Buzz Day, as Tech will recognize its iconic mascot. The multiple-time national champion is now in his 6th decade of cheering on the Jackets, beginning in 1972. And, of course, Buzz became Tech's official costume mascot back in 1980. And that's part of the reason the Jackets have Buzz emblazoned across their lids today. Not only do we get the rivalry matchup here today with the Hokies, but also an opportunity to celebrate the past, present, and future of Georgia Tech athletics.
All right, thank you. All right, no targeting, according to Mike Roche. Now the Buzz has turned 45. He's got to get checked for colon cancer.
That would be the wise decision.
Get that Cologuard ready for Buzz.
Well, make sure someone has that conversation with him. It's an important one.
Yes, I will pass that along. So no additional targeting penalty, but the ball now right hash at the Virginia Tech 38 in this opening drive for Tech in the first quarter. We wind the clock as the Jackets break the huddle. Patterson, Rutherford, Zion Taylor split out wide left. Haynes flexes out toward the short side. As Beathen crabs and settles in front of King. He takes, gives it on the counter left to King, to a Haynes rather. He bolts up the middle past the 35, down to the 31, and a crisp gain of 7 by Jamal Haynes.
And that's an interesting play design because Jamal Haynes is further to the right of the quarterback than they normally would be in that shotgun right, and allows him to see that cutback sooner than usual.
And now they go twin backs, Jamal Haynes and Malachi Hosley. Haynes motions out, stretch zone left to Malachi Hosley, shrugs off a tackle, 25, and rides a Hokie down to the 23-yard line for a guy who's averaging 8 yards a carry. That's 8 on the nose to Malachi Hosley, and a fresh set of downs for Tech.
Well, Malachi Hosley continues to be just an effective runner for Georgia Tech every time he touches the ball, but because you get Jamal Haynes going, he's in the box. When he motions out, he draws extra attention, helping his running mate Hosley get going.
Hosley now the featured back. He's got an offset in front of him in the tight end, J.T. Byrne. He gets motioned out by Haynes King. Takes the snap. Gives it again on the misdirection. Bouncing right is Malachi Hosley, swinging wide 15. He's at the 10, lowers his shoulder, runs over a Hokie down to the 3-yard line. And it'll be first and goal on a pickup of 18 from Hosley.
And the wide receiver is getting in on the blocking fun. Hosley gets a great lead block by Zion Taylor. Just finds this lane into the counter to the right, bounces it outside. Well done by the entire Georgia Tech offense.
10th play of the drive coming up. First and goal, right hash at the Virginia Tech 3. Shotgun split backs, unbalanced line to the right. The snap to King, fakes the toss, dashes up the middle, and he cruises in for the touchdown. A surgical strike by the Yellow Jackets on their opening possession. 10:53 in the first quarter, and it's 6-0 Tech.
And the Georgia Tech offense giving you everything you could want except a deep ball, answering early questions about could they run the football on this Virginia Tech defense. The early answer is a resounding absolutely yes.
So a 9-play, 80-yard scoring drive. 51 of those yards on the ground for Haynes King, his team leading 8th rushing touchdown of the season, going for 2 on the jet sweep, curving around the right side and looping in is Malik Rutherford. Well, how about that? Georgia Tech going for 2 on its opening possession, and Malik Rutherford with the Superman stretch gets across the goal line, and it's 8-0 Jackets.
Andy, you got to love the old swinging gate, all the linemen out to the left, and then you bring the motion, just a jet sweep kind of toss pass, beautifully executed by this Georgia Tech offense. Does my high school football coach heart proud again.
Well, I think they caught Virginia Tech flat-footed, thinking there's no way Georgia Tech would run a swinging gate 2-point play after its first scoring drive of the game. But here we are, 8-0 Jackets over the Hokies. 10:53 first quarter as we've hit timeout on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
This fall, Central Heating and Air Conditioning is offering something rare. You get 2 incentives. Upgrade to a dependable Carrier system and get up to $2,100 in rebates and 60 months of 0% financing with approved credit. Central and Carrier set the standard in heating and cooling for over 3 generations, and now's your chance to bring that comfort home with the best savings of the season. Call 770-GET-HEAT today or visit centralheat.com. Turn to your Atlanta Carrier experts, Central Heating and Air Conditioning.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Hey, it's Shalini here for Window Traditions. My buddy Dan Shaughnessy is the owner, and he's been telling me for years what new windows and doors can do for your home, adding curb appeal, improving energy efficiency, and helping control the temperature of your home year-round, saving you money. Also, Window Traditions has 2 great showrooms in town, Lake Oconee and the original in Johns Creek.
For windows and doors, make the right decision. Call Window Traditions.
WindowTraditions.com.
Green.
Every Georgia Tech game is on Atlanta's flagship station for the Yellow Jackets. This is The Fan, 680 and 93.7 FM. The Ramblin' Wreck keeps trucking along. It's Georgia Tech football on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
Now, this is pretty cool. As we know, it's Buzz's 45th birthday, and a lot of the former Buzzes on the field being saluted. Current Buzz making them drop down and do some push-ups as well.
I mean, he's the boss now. If he says do the push-ups, you better do them.
Those memories that all those former Georgia Tech students have donning the costume now across 45 years. Buzz had a lot to celebrate on that opening possession as Tech marches 9 plays, 80 yards, and 340. Touchdown run of 2 yards officially by Haynes King with the 2-point conversion, 8-0 Georgia Tech over Virginia Tech. Today's Polished Predictions are brought to you by Solomon Brothers Jewelers, the official jewelers of Georgia Tech Athletics. And in front of the Jackets' first defensive series, Andrew, what do you think will be the MO for Blake getting into defense to contain the Virginia Tech running game? Because we both believe if they want to give themselves a chance on the road to spring the upset, they have to be very deliberate in just chipping away at Georgia Tech on the ground.
I think what you're going to see, honestly, is college football isn't the copycat league that pro football is, but I think you're going to see some things taken from that Wake Forest attack, where you're bringing different kind of personnel groups up, bringing 5 guys up to the line of scrimmage sometimes, and then twisting and moving, like kind of multiple player stunts. I think it's going to look very similar to what Georgia Tech saw versus Wake Forest, and then what Virginia Tech saw versus Wake Forest.
Aiden Burr, 6th in the nation in touchback percentage, 30 of 33 this year as he boots it away from left to right and sends another one thundering toward the back line and out of bounds, or over the back line, I should say, on the fly, and a penalty flag thrown from the back judge underneath the crossbar. He tossed that flag a good 25 yards downfield. For what, I'm not sure.
Showing the arm strength.
Evidently.
That's not going to, a penalty on a play where nothing happens is never going to make your coach happy.
There was something unsportsmanlike in a collision downfield. Wow. An illegal blindside block on a kickoff that sailed through the back line of the end zone and wasn't even technically live. So that'll back up the Hokies now. Instead of starting at the 25, march it back down half the distance to the 12. Kyron Drone, 6'2", 235. He's a redshirt senior out of Houston, Texas. Played his first 2 years at Baylor, making his 27th career start for the Hokies. 60% completion percentage this year. 202 passing yards per game, 9 touchdowns. He's thrown 4 interceptions, 32 rushing yards a game. And he does have Tyrion Stewart, their 5'9", 222-pound back at his right hip. A slot to his left on 1st and 10 as Georgia Tech stems off the rollout. Here's Drones running right, gunning it, and it caught on the comeback to the 35. It's a first down up to the 29-yard line. Aiden Green, the 6'2 junior.
And Aiden Green able to get open on the outside, but Georgia Tech immediately takes a shot on the tight end to not allow Drones to drop that out in the flat.
Drones plants Stewart to his left. 2 receivers short right on 1st and 10 from their own 30. Takes, swivels, and gives it to Stewart. And he barges his way up the middle across the 35. Drags the jacket with him up to the 38 and a gain of 8. But that is Tyrion Stewart, 6th-year grad student from Memphis, Tennessee, who here 2 years ago for Bowling Green had a season-high 138 rushing yards. It was a game-time decision because of a shoulder injury. A pull and run off right tackle by Drones. He's met at the edge by Eford. Stretches across to the 41, though, and gets the first down on a pickup of 3.
So in 3 plays, Virginia Tech has attacked essentially the way we thought they might. It's been trying to slip it to the tight end of the flat, but he was covered. A run by Stewart, and then a read option keep by Drones.
2 receivers from the tight end, split left for Drones, stooped over beside Stewart. First and 10 from the Hokie 41. Gives it on the stretch left. Stewart swats away 1 tackle, but gets flattened by a second jacket back at the 36. That's a loss of 5, and it was a Montre Bradford coming through, finished off by A.J. Hoffler.
Well, Montre Bradford just doing a great job chasing this play down. A guy that the more snaps he's gotten, the more his name has popped.
And Montre Bradford got the start today over Braden Manley. Out comes Terrion Stewart, 5'11", redshirt junior Marcellus Hawkins, now the standing tail at Ben Wace, left of Drones. Trips right as Drones retreats along the left hash. He's pressured, ducks away to his right. He pulls it, tries to run off right tackle, but gets yanked down by Eford at the 35. Only a gain of 2. No, called a loss of 2. And Kyron Drones a little shaken up as he now pops back onto his feet. But it sets up 3rd down and 16 for Virginia Tech on consecutive TFLs by the Jackets defense.
And that was a nice job of complimentary pass rushing by Georgia Tech. The defensive line stays in their rush lanes, forces Drones out, and there is Eford to chase him down and make that tackle for loss as he leaves the pocket. And Drones looks like he comes out after that.
He does come out. So 5'11", redshirt sophomore Pop Watson III comes in. He only has 1 pass attempt on the year. It was an incompletion. 5 rushes for 29 yards. 3rd and 15 officially for the Hokies. 8:44 first quarter. Tech on top 7-0. They spread the field out. Trips left, a receiver right. Stewart, the featured back, Georgia Tech, put 6 in the box. They walk their linebackers creeping closer. And all sorts of movement. Nobody in sync for Virginia Tech, and flags tossed. This will be 5 yards on a false start. And you can tell the nerves and the tentativeness from Pop Watson before he took that snap. This is very much a patched together Virginia Tech offensive line due to injuries. To make it 3rd down and 20 for a Hokies team that is converting 45% of its 3rd downs. It's 38th in the country, 5th best in the ACC, but they got to reach the Georgia Tech 49. 8-0 Tech, 8:27 and counting first quarter.
And not the situation you want your backup quarterback to be walking into. I mean, we just witnessed what happens, just the lack of communication, the lack of comfort with the backup in.
Backpedals into the gun, 2x2 receivers. Motion from right to left. Here's the snap to Watson. He grips the laces, trying to step up, right into a jacket, who sacks him back at the 25. There's the first sack, hopefully not the last, and it's Matthew Alexander, the redshirt senior from Buford, getting his first of the season.
Well, Andy, you want sacks and tackles for loss in the game? How about 2 on the first drive? Really well done. After an effective first play by this Virginia Tech offense, the Georgia Tech defense very stout. Great job responding after a big first play.
Hokies punter is redshirt senior Nick Veltsistis, 44 yards a boot, punting from inside his 10. Bailey Stockton squinting into the sunshine at his own 31. 3 protectors in front as he hangs this high. This is a beauty. Torpedoing toward the far sideline. It's fielded by Rivers. He's plenty of room up the left sideline. 35-40. Cuts inside 45-50. Gets a block. Winding outside 40 of the Hokies. And finally brought down at the 38. Andrew, they had camouflaged Eric Rivers along the Virginia Tech sideline. He sprinted back on punt return. Once that ball was airborne, Bailey Stockton started shading toward the Georgia Tech sideline. All those gunners and special teamers for the Hokies drifted towards Stockton, and it led to a huge run back for Rivers.
And just such smart special teams play by Georgia Tech. Every single eye, every coverage guy from Virginia Tech was chasing Bailey Stockton. Great piece of acting by him, and gave 20 yards of unimpeded grass for Eric Rivers. Really smart play by this Georgia Tech special teams unit.
So Tech in plus territory, left hash of the Hokie 38. King with the sidecar and Haynes. Canyon, the motion man, joins a trip set on the right. And he ropes the screen right side to Rutherford. Down the numbers he goes across the 35. He's twisted down at the 31 for a gain of 7. Got a good lead block from Isaiah Canyon. The tackle by the middle linebacker Caleb Woodson, who had missed the last 3 games, the 6'3 junior from Haymarket, Virginia.
With Georgia Tech getting back-to-back offensive drives started with the Malik Rutherford tunnel screen, effective first down plays, and a way to stretch out that defense from Virginia Tech.
King now fans out 3 wide left. Haynes a standing tail. Waves a man in motion. Fakes the jet sweep. Hunts for room up the middle across the 30. Puts a hand in the back of an offensive lineman and gets the first down to the 27. Run of 3 by Haynes King, who has the most rushing touchdowns of any QB in the country right now entering the day. That touchdown in the first series, his 8th of the season. Clock continues to run. 6:16 first quarter. Tech at 1st and 10 at the Hokie 27, leading 8-0. Once again, Tech goes with 2 backs, and Haynes and Hosley, as they all turn their attention toward the signalers on the near sideline. Kind of a power pistol with Haynes beside King and Hosley behind him. He waves out Hosley. Here's the snap, the mesh. Jamal Haynes bounces off a tackle, running right to the 20, a cutback 15, spins through a pair of Hokies down to the 13, and a gain of 14 more for Jamal.
And Andy, the 2 things that really made that play go were the sustaining of the blocks by the Georgia Tech offensive line and the patience of Jamal Haynes running. There really wasn't much there first. He kind of misses the original hole, but then all the blocks just continue able to bounce it outside for a big run.
1st and 10 now at the Virginia Tech 13. King with Haynes. Takes, meshes. Haynes makes a man miss, now cuts out to his left, and he scampers up to about the 10 for a gain of 3, but some quick feet by Jamal Haynes. Able to ole a couple of Hokies defenders to get positive yardage.
Back-to-back jump cuts to turn nothing into something. Jamal Haynes did not have his best day 2 weeks ago against Virginia Tech. Looks like a man on a mission to kind of undo that game, to put that behind him and have a big day today in Atlanta.
They wind up giving him 4, 2nd and 6, dead center of the field at the 9. J.T. Byrne parked at the right of King. Dalen Gordon to the left. Make that Malachi Hosley. Here's the snap, fake of the toss, retreating to throw is King. Looking, now floating it right side of the end zone. It is caught, but out of bounds. Looking for Patterson running along the back line, but he put too much air underneath it, and it goes incomplete.
And Virginia Tech defensive back Thomas Williams in position, kind of in phase on that play. A good ball, just ran out of space. I like the play design, kind of double post, crossing routes in the middle, playing off that, toss, keep action that Georgia Tech loves in the red zone. So I like the idea. Georgia Tech needed the field to be 2 more yards long.
Yeah. So 3rd down and 6 as the Jackets break the huddle. Canyon split left. Slot right is Beetham. Beyond him, Malik Rutherford. Again, backs are split, bracketing King. He waves out Hosley. Takes the snap, ranges the throw. Pressure backside, guns underneath. It's caught Rutherford and into the end zone for the touchdown. Haynes King took the hit from the blind side, but threw a dart to Malik Rutherford for his 9th career touchdown, and Georgia Tech cashes in to make it 14-0, 4:34 in the first quarter.
Well, the Haynes King toughness doesn't only show up in the run game, but standing tall in the passing game as well. Delivers a strike to Malik Rutherford. Great second drive of the game. Georgia Tech's offense continues to have what it wants from Virginia Tech.
Malik Rutherford, who last game moved into the top 10 in school history in career receiving yards. He's got 3 catches, 23. That one went 9, and it went for 6. Extra point upcoming. Georgia Tech begins in the swinging gate. They'll now mass together for the extra point. Burr out of the hold of Nichols. Swings his right leg through it and drops it into the netting softly and good. 15-0 as Georgia Tech takes advantage of the short field following the great punt return off some trickeration from Eric Rivers. 6 plays, 38 yards. Malik Rutherford with his 2nd touchdown grab of the season, and the Jackets have the 15-0 lead. 4:34 first quarter from Bobby Dodd Stadium at Hyundai Field. We're back after this on the Georgia Tech Sports Network. Georgia Tech women's basketball single game tickets for the 2025-2026 season are on sale now. Secure your seats at McCamus Pavilion to watch head coach Karen Blair and the Yellow Jackets take on ACC opponents like North Carolina, Stanford, and Louisville. Save your seats to watch head coach Karen Blair and the Yellow Jackets back at the Thrillerdome this season by visiting RamlinRack.com/tickets. Sting 'em.
One of the toughest jobs in law enforcement is telling a family that a loved one has been killed by a drunk driver. That's why Georgia law enforcement every day to keep drunk drivers off the road. Every DUI arrest could be one less family to lose someone to drunk driving. You can help. Hand the keys to a designated driver or call a ride service. It saves lives and prevents a costly DUI arrest. Drive sober or get pulled over. Brought to you by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
You'll get the football news you need in your car and while you work when you hit up the locker room weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on the Fan and the Fan app.
From every huge touchdown to every epic stop, it's Georgia Tech football, driven by Hyundai on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
Jackets 2 for 2 in red zone touchdowns. The last one, a 9-yard completion. Haynes King to redshirt senior Malik Rothenberg. Team leading 19th reception of the season. That one goes for 6 and following the extra point. Tech now up 15-0 over Virginia Tech. Georgia Tech went with the conventional extra point try on that last touchdown. Delved into the bag of tricks, though, for the first 2-point conversion. And for more, here's Chris.
Guys, really interesting. That 2-point conversion at the end of that first offensive drive for Georgia Tech was a spur-of-the-moment decision. At least it was for the players. The players were coming off of the field, and I don't know that I've ever seen offensive line coach Jeep Wade run so fast. He came down the sidelines down here in front of me at about the 12-yard line or so and had to wave his offensive lineman back out onto the field. So that decision to go for 2 was a bit of a surprise for the players.
Well, Jeep will tell you, key to being a good offensive lineman, Andrew, is short area quickness, and good to know he practices what he preaches on the sideline.
Yeah, don't talk about it, be about it.
Let's pause 10 seconds so stations can identify themselves. This is Georgia Tech football.
Every play of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets is live on WCNN North Atlanta,
a Dickey broadcasting station,
the Fan and the Fan app.
Another kickoff, pinwheeling towards the back of the end zone for an Aiden Bird touchback. What a year he has had. 10 out of 10 in field goals, 6th nationally in touchback percentage at better than 90%. And the Hokies will take over at their own 25. Will this series, though, see the return of Kyron Jones, who is shaken up on a 3rd down scramble on Virginia Tech's opening series. Pop Watson had to come in for the final 2 plays. And it does look like number 1, Kyron Jones, back on. He was 14 of 28 against Wake Forest, a season-low 110 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Did lead the team with 13 rushes for 36 yards. Hokies right to left. Stewart to his right hip. He deploys 2 receivers right. Quick throw to the right side. It's batted away. Pulled it out of the belly of Stewart, trying for a simple stop run on the near sideline to the Wake Forest transfer Donovan Green, who was swatted away by Amari Harvey. 2nd and 10.
Amari Harvey does a fantastic job breaking out of his back pedal. If he's reading it, if Kyron Jones is reading this, he thinks there's space to get it in underneath Harvey, but he just breaks on it too fast. Really well done.
Team leading 4th pass breakup for the redshirt senior. 2 receivers tight to the right, twins tight left. Tight end Hairston motions across. Drones back to the air. Pump fake. Now checks down to Stewart. Left sideline. He's upended at the 25 by Harvey, who went down low to submarine him. Great open field tackle in the pursuit game by Harvey. It's only a gain of 1 to the 26.
And a part of that play that would be easy to miss is E.J. Lightsey is blitzing off the offense's left side. He gets his hand in the passing lane, which throws off the timing and makes Kyron Jones pump fake it, which allows Harvey to recover and be there for the tackle.
Inside 4 minutes, first quarter. Trips right to receiver left for Drones, who raises his right leg. Activates the motion. Takes the snap knee high. Plants, lofts it down the right sideline on the back shoulder, and it is caught. A flag is tossed. It is incomplete, though, as the catch was made out of bounds. But the face guarding down that way by Zachary Toby should call a pass interference on the junior.
Defense number 23. 15-yard penalty automatic. First down.
And you got to turn your head. It's a simple streak down that Virginia Tech sideline trying to find Aiden Green. And the DPI will extend the Hokies' drive.
Well, and that's part of why you throw that pass. You know, it's not really there. Toby's in phase. He has pretty good position, but because he's unable to get his eyes back to the ball, as you said, you're going to get that call 9 times out of 10. But something I've noticed these last 2 drives on third down, they're bringing Kamen Spalding in the game as more of a rush position, moving him down to the defensive line and letting him do some work on the offensive tackles from Virginia Tech.
Yeah, bringing in their NASCAR package.
Yep.
Marcellus Hawkins, transfer from Central Missouri, is the standing tail at the left of Drones. Fakes the toss, tries to break off right, has a crease at the 45, gets snowed under by the Jacket to the 47. Gain of 6 for Drones, who 2 years ago averaged 65 rushing yards per game, almost half that this year, but a non-schedule run before the tackle by Daniels. 3:29 first quarter, 15-0 Georgia Tech, officially 2nd and 3. Harrison at bent waist besides Drones. Hands out, takes, meshes, and it's Hawkins. Dashing to his right across midfield, stretches out inside Tech territory to the 46 for a gain of 6 and a first down. Tackled by Braden Manley, but the Hokies have it inside Jackets territory.
And Hawkins, the quicker of the backs, not quite as thick as Stewart, catches a lot of balls out of the backfield, able to show his quickness to pick up that first down for the Hokies.
Second on the team, 47 rushing yards a game with 1 touchdown. He scored that last week versus Wake Forest. He'll be the standing tail, a stack in the slot. Shotgun snap. And on the jet sweep is Takai Heath, strung out past the 45. And he is leveraged back inside by Harvey at the 41-yard line for a gain of 5.
Harvey's having a nice drive, even with Virginia Tech moving this ball. That's the 3rd play so far that he's really been integral for Georgia Tech, setting an edge, not allowing that jet sweep to get outside. An effective first down play for Virginia Tech, but can't let the good plays become great plays for your opponent.
It is 2nd and 5, right hash at the Georgia Tech 41. 2:13 first quarter, 2nd and 5. Drones from the gun, waves Heath in motion. Pulls it up the belly of his back, wheels out to his right. He flicks his wrist, finds Heath up the sideline 40, and take a big hit at the end of the play. No flags are tossed as he gets marked out about a yard shy of the first down at the 30. No, they'll call it the 40-yard line. So evidently that first foot went out before he turned upfield for just a pickup of 1. Zach Tobey with a big shot there at the end of the play on the 5'10 redshirt sophomore Takai Heath, but evidently it was inside the chalk. Terrion Stewart comes back in as that 3rd down thumper. It's 3rd and 4. Stewart so far, 2 rushes, 4 yards. Georgia Tech walks a linebacker off the edge. Terrion Stewart, 2,600-plus career rushing yards. That's 11th most among active FBS backs. Jamal Haynes is 17th. Here's the snap. Drones drops 3 steps, throws short right, but a whistle blows before that snap. Virginia Tech calls timeout.
Before the snap, Virginia Tech takes its first time out of the half.
It's the first time out by interim head coach Philip Montgomery, who was previously head coach for 8 years at Tulsa. Stops play with 1:24 in the first quarter, 15-0 Tech on top of the Hokies. And with that timeout, we'll head to a break as well. Back after this on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
Hey folks, home team Brandon Leak here. One of the biggest games of the year is coming up, Georgia Tech versus Georgia, and you can win tickets to the game, plus $250 in spending money from my friends at Georgia Zone Credit Union. Simply open up a Georgia Zone Visa credit card by November 7th and be automatically entered for a chance to win. To learn more, visit georgiazown.org/Stingham. I'm home team Brandon Leak, and I'm proud to be one of Georgia Zone.
This is Bruce Hagan. The law in Georgia has changed, and if you have been injured in a car crash, it's going to be harder than ever to get insurance companies to treat you fairly. What you need is a real lawyer on your side, not some phony TV or billboard lawyer who doesn't even know how to get to the courthouse. I've been a Georgia super lawyer for 20 straight years, and we try cases and we win. We get results for our clients. Call me, get in touch, hagan-law.com. We are real lawyers who will win your personal injury case.
You won't be able to get through the college football season without me, Chuck Oliver, and Matt Chernoff, weekdays from 2 to 6 on 680 The Fan and The Fan app.
Let's get back to the Jackets. More Georgia Tech football, driven by Hyundai on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
Probably already presumed this, considering you're listening to the Georgia Tech Sports Network, but when we say Tech, we refer to Georgia Tech, Andrew. And Tech leads Virginia Tech 15-0. 1:24 remaining first quarter. Touchdowns on both of Georgia Tech's series. Hokies have marched inside Yellow Jackets territory in front of a 3rd and 4 from the Jacket 41-yard line.
Andy, there is only one Tech, and we're here to prove it today, right? Georgia Tech playing for Tech dominance, and has looked good so far. Looked good on offense, looked good on defense. This has been this second drive by Virginia Tech. They've had a little movement here. Wouldn't surprise me to see this as 4-down territory. But on that play right before the timeout, a lot of communication by Georgia Tech defense, trying to adjust to the formation motion. But Philip Montgomery and the Virginia Tech Hokies didn't like what they saw, popped the timeout. Got to be ready coming out of this timeout. Wouldn't be surprised to see Georgia Tech bring pressure, because they also, again, all that extra time to talk about what you want to do and how you want to attack.
And the Hokies armed 38th nationally, 45% on third down. They converted 7 of 17 against Wake Forest. They do bring back Tyrion Stewart, who did not play in the second half of that Wake game with a shoulder injury. He was a true game-time decision. Former first-team All-Mid-American Conference back at Bowling Green. It'll be the sidecar planted at the left of Drones, who himself is a very capable runner. Tight end crouches down as a wing left. Georgia Tech with 4 on the line. There's the snap. Handoff, Stewart tries to slide off to his left. Jackets are there. Eford with the tackle, shy of the line to gain, and a flag was thrown behind the play as a Hokie helmet comes popping off as well.
I think we may be getting holding by the left tackle, number 79, Johnny Garrett. Looked like that was what allowed Stewart to get the edge.
And it was Stewart's helmet who came off, or Garrett's helmet who came off. So long conversation here. What gives you pause is that it was the Hokies offensive lineman's helmet who came off.
Holding. Offense number 79. 7-yard penalty. Third down.
And it is the redshirt junior from Scituate, Mass, Johnny Garrett. Stewart was stopped. It would have been a 4th down and 2. You figured they would have gone for it, but now they move the ball back 10 yards and replay third down.
Yeah, I think you run that ball because you've already made the decision that you're going for it on 4th down, but now the calculus changes. Back them up 10 yards, and if calculus is part of it, I think Georgia Tech has the advantage all day.
Third down and 14. They move the ball back to the Hokie 49. Now their place kicker, John Love, has a huge leg, although he would be kicking into the wind. Jeremiah Coney is now the featured back. He's the third running back in the rotation. They will triangle 2 receivers and a tight end. The tight end being Benji Gosnell on the left. Gosnell, 9 catches on the year. Had a team-high 5 against the Jackets last year. 1 receiver up top in green is a very good contested catch receiver. To the air goes Drones. Clean pocket, throws underneath, throws it behind. A crossing Donovan Green from left to right, incomplete. And as big a leg as their place kicker possesses, you're not going to try one from 50, the 50-yard line, and the punting unit comes on.
Well, Georgia Tech only choosing to rush 3 and drop 8. Amontre Bradford still able to get pressure, continuing to have an effect on the game, getting the start today.
Back comes Veltsissis for the punt from his own 35. Bailey Stockton, just him right now. No Eric Rivers, lurking inside the 10. As this ball is hung up high, twisting toward the left hash. Stockton bails on it, takes a hop at the 5, down at the 3. Well done by Veltsissis. And Georgia Tech will have a long field in front of it with 39 seconds remaining in the first quarter, leading 15-0.
Good execution by the Virginia Tech punting team, able to pin that inside the 10. But Bailey Stockton doing what you're taught. Don't chase that ball back inside your own 5. But this Georgia Tech offense has been able to move the ball. Long field in front of them, just more stats to accumulate.
Jackets averaging 7.2 yards a carry across their 10 so far, from left to right for the final few ticks of this first quarter. As they emerge from the huddle and split Rivers and Canyon right. They emerge from the huddle quickly, offset eye, the snap, quick hitter. It's Hosley up the middle, runs into a wall of Hokies across the 5, and forward progress stops him at the 7. He got squared on but kept his feet, but manages 5 yards out of it.
It's a big hit by safety Jordan Bass coming up in the hole to deliver the shot to Malachi Hosley. This is a play Georgia Tech has liked. They've gotten in the offset eye with Hosley at the fullback position and hand it back to the inside. Effective run on first down, though, to get some space and get the ball outside the 5-yard line.
Georgia Tech appears in no haste to snap this off before the quarter break, although Trey Maddox is on the field, and we knew Trey would be available for today. He's yet to record a carry this season, has been banged up.
That's the end of the first quarter.
But if it comes, it'll come at the second quarter. through 15 minutes here at Bobby Dodd Stadium at Hyundai Field. Well, Georgia Tech was hoping to come out crisp following the bye. Offensively, defensively, and special teams, they've done all of that as they lead Virginia Tech 15-0. We're back after this on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
It's Dari from R.S. Andrews, and people always ask, what's the R.S. and R.S. Andrews stand for? R.S. means rapid service. I know what it's like waiting for a repair guy to show up, so I made sure when you call us, we have somebody ready to jump to action. Rapid service. Your AC needs to keep working for several more weeks, so if you're hearing a clunk, clank, or smelling some stank, we're ready to help. R.S. means rapid service. Schedule at rsandrews.com.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with low prices in every aisle. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our low prices. Kroger shoppers never compromise. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Stream every Georgia Tech game totally free on the all-new Fan app. Download it now for Apple or Android and listen to the Jackets anywhere. You're locked into Georgia Tech football, driven by Hyundai. Now back to the voice of the Jackets, Andy Demetra.
And Hyundai is proud to be the official partner of Georgia Tech Athletics with our shared vision of the future through innovation and progress. Hyundai and the Yellow Jackets are sure to make a great team. Hyundai and Georgia Tech, it's our journey. Alongside Andrew Gardner, Chris Mooneyham on the sidelines, Andy Demetra from the Al Serraldo radio booth. Through one quarter, Tech 15, Virginia Tech, nothing. It is also the 35th anniversary weekend of the 1990 National Championship team. They had over 80 RSVPs, Andrew, between players, coaches, and staffers. All getting set to be saluted on the video board among the luminaries who are back here from the 1990 team. You got Ken Swilling, who I think just got a big bear hug from Brent Key. His former coach, George O'Leary. Ralph Friedgen is there as well. Bobby Ross. We certainly wish him the best with his health issues, but his son, Rob, is representing him today. And that is a great party down there from 1990 gathering in front of the rec down there in the south end zone.
It's great to see those guys back on campus. Great to celebrate all their accomplishments. And hopefully, hey, they'll just bring some of those good 1990 vibes with them and just go ahead and put those on this 2025 team.
The only thing they don't want to bring full circle was the result of their game versus Virginia Tech that year, because they did get the tie, right, against Virginia Tech, or am I thinking another year? Al's just locked in right now in that 1990 team. But I'll tell you what, 15-0, Jackets on top. They outgained the Hokies 107-37 in the first quarter. They converted both of their third downs and averaging 6.9 yards a carry against a Virginia Tech team that had held their last three opponents below 100 net rushing yards, 11 carries, 76 net on the ground for Tech. What have you seen that's allowed them to be productive in the running game?
Well, this offensive line is blocking effectively. The skill players are blocking effectively. Like just the technique has been sound, and then Georgia Tech has been able to keep this Virginia Tech front kind of off balance by attacking in different ways. Two backs, one back, jet sweep, quarterback run, kind of the Georgia Tech blueprint working as it should.
We flip side, 2nd and 6 from the Georgia Tech 7. Maddox the pistol back, and he'll get the call straight up the gut. He picks his way through tacklers up to the 10. Gain of 3 for Trey Maddox. Good to see him back on the field after injuries delayed the start of his 2025 season. Brings up 3rd down and 3.
Traylon Maddox, a hard runner. His first run of the year, no different than usual. Good to see him back, healthy, in the game, helping the Yellow Jackets. Again, brings up 3rd and 3, a situation where Georgia Tech is very comfortable. Previously, they went with the Haynes King run. But they got him spread out 5 wide right now.
Yeah, 3 to his right, 2 to his left. He stares at a 4-man rush. Now motions his tight end Byrne in front of him. Takes the snap, cradles, runs up the middle, feeling for a crease. He dives to the 14-yard line, and that should be enough for the first down.
And that play is a great example of how a runner like Haynes King just changes the math of the game, where you can go 5 wide, and you have to be very worried that it's going to be a short down run, a short yardage run, So it makes it hard for you to play the box properly.
It's tunneled behind his center Harrison Moore, his left guard Joe Fusel. Hosley and Haynes both in the backfield. Hosley shoots out in motion. That quarter turn, the handoff. Hosley, big hole. He's at the 20, 25, breaking to his right 40, 45, and inside Hokie territory. They'll say the knee went down right at midfield, but boy, did he hit the gas for 36.
And what a gash right up the middle. Well blocked by this Georgia Tech offensive line. Malachi Hosley doing everything he can to push that yards per carry even higher.
And Georgia Tech wants to press the tempo. 3 receivers flooded out left for King. Takes the snap, helmet high. Throws the bubble screen, caught by Rutherford, but he's hit immediately and tackled back at the 46 for a loss of 4. That was well diagnosed by Joseph Reddish, part of this very young, inexperienced defensive secondary, but he smoked out that bubble screen to Rutherford.
Yeah, Reddish put his foot in the ground and got downhill immediately. They're ready for that play. I wouldn't be surprised to see the fake screen here very soon.
Jamal Haynes, the lone setback, right of King. 2-by-2 set in front of 2nd and 14. The snap to King. Off play action. Throws the crosser. Caught. Breaking the tackle. 45 of the Hokies goes Harpering, and he lunges down to the 41. Gains 13 to set up 3rd and 1.
And Luke Harpering doing what tight ends should do, running over smaller defenders after the catch.
Yeah, that probably didn't feel good for the redshirt junior safety Tyson Flowers on Harpering's 5th catch of the season. 3rd down and 1, 12-22 second quarter. Tech leads 15-0. Haynes at the left rear of King. Unbalanced line to the left. They'll motion burn to the right of King. Takes the snap, fakes the toss, cuts up the middle, threw an arm tackle at the 40 and to the 38 for a 1st down. At some point, he is going to toss that, but for now, that fake, lowering his shoulder, rumbling up the middle is doing wonders for Haynes King, and Tech is now 4 for 4 on 3rd downs.
And Georgia Tech is going to the Haynes King run on these 3rd and manageable and 3rd and short situations. J.T. Byrne doing his fullback thing.
Yep.
And like you said, as soon as they stop respecting that toss, though, that's when he's going to toss it.
He'll be in the gun, back split, unbalanced line to the left, 1st and 10, Hokies 37. Snap to King, off play action, retreats deep, looking to take a shot, throws over the middle, leaping catch, Rivers at the 15, climbed the ladder to snag that, it goes for 22.
Rivers and King picking up where they left off 2 weeks ago at Wake Forest, able to find the connection over the middle of the field. Eric Rivers climbing the ladder for a ball that was just a little high. Well executed by the Georgia Tech offense. Great protection up front.
Took a shot on the way down, but hung on. He's part of a trip set on the left. Haynes the setback. Center of the field at the Hokie 15. And it's an inside handoff to Haynes. He starts right, counters left, and barrels his way forward to the 11 for 4. I like that it's more decisive running as well by Jamal Haynes. It seemed like he was tiptoeing, a little tentative in Winston-Salem. That has not been the case today.
Yeah, today he's getting all the meat off the bone. A few of these runs he's had. Other weeks, maybe that's going to be 2-3 yards for him. He's pushing it to 4, 5, and 6 yards, and that little bit at the end of the game adds up. Just get every little bit you can.
He'll be behind Haynes King. Malachi Hosley to his left. The snap, the pivot, outside zone. Jamal Haynes turning right at the 10. He gets clobbered from the side down to the 8 for a gain of 3. Try to win that race to the edge, but a good job by Caleb Woodson to fill in and stop him shy of the 1st down, 3rd down and 3. But Georgia Tech 4 for 4 on 3rd down as we come up on 10 minutes second quarter, and the Jackets leading 15-0.
Georgia Tech back in that 3rd and 3 situation. It feels like over and over and over again, 3rd and 3. And when you can run it for 3 yards, like you said, it's all open. Maybe the toss, maybe the run, whatever you want.
Rivers, the receiver, short right. He now shoots in motion. It's a fake to him. Haynes runs off right guard, but he's stacked up by the Hokies. Maybe 1 down to the 7. And that time, Georgia Tech did not fool Virginia Tech. Good job by the Hokies interior to stone Haynes King. And on 4th down, they'll bring on Aiden Burr for the field goal. That has to be a win for the Virginia Tech defense.
Well, they haven't been able to slow Georgia Tech down yet. Certainly holding Georgia Tech to a field goal is a win for them. But now Tech up 18 if they can convert here. Maybe back to the well one too many times with the Haynes King 3rd down runs.
25-yard attempt from the right hash for the right-footed kicking Aiden Burr. It's set down for him, banged up, and it is good. And the perfect season continues for Aiden Burr. Make the redshirt junior 11 of 11 this year. Georgia Tech has to settle for 3, but they extend the lead to 18-0 over Virginia Tech. 9:01 remaining, second quarter from Atlanta, as we step aside on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
Hey Georgia fans, Matt Schaub here. It's time to kick off your deck project with TimberTech. A real decking all-star, TimberTech is the #1 brand in premium decking. It delivers real wood looks without the costly maintenance, and it will never rot, warp, splinter, or peel. Plus, with industry-leading warranties, you know your deck will perform at the top of its game season after season. Discover why TimberTech is the top dog of decking and railing. Order free samples at timbertech.com.
0 is a powerful number. It can mean you have nothing, but it's really powerful when it means you pay nothing. That's where Dobbs Heating and Air comes in. Right now, the Dobbs family is offering a $0 10-year labor warranty on all new HVAC systems. If you think you might need a new system soon, now is the time to install a new unit with Dobbs Heating and Air for that $0 10-year warranty. That means $0 repairs for 10 years. Great deals, even better service. That's Dobbs HVAC. Get started at DobbsHVAC.com. That's DobbsHVAC.com.
This is Kelly Krall. Listen for me with the Locker Room Team, Tuesday and Thursday mornings from 6 to 10 on 680 The Fan.
This is Yellow Jackets football, driven by Hyundai on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
12-play, 90-yard drive, took up 6:16 of clock, 25-yard Aiden Burr field goal as they stretch the lead to 18-0. I believe that is Pat Swilling holding aloft that crystal football from the 1990 National Championship season. And as we settled out in Boulder in week 1, Andrew, that is officially Georgia Tech's national championship in Tech's alone in 1990. Good to see so many of those 1990 alums gathering on the field and getting their well-deserved flowers from the crowd at Bobby Dodd Stadium at Hyundai Field.
Well, as if it were ever in doubt, Andy, all doubt has been removed. Hey, congratulations to those guys. It's awesome to see the most recent national championship team here. Just, you know, a team that any Tech fan remembers and any Tech fan growing up, like those are the guys you're pointing back to. Special, special year.
And a Georgia Tech team that aspires to be like 1990 at 5-0 on the year, number 13 nationally. Highest regular season ranking since 2011. And this team was led by Paul Johnson, who himself was on campus this weekend, getting inducted last night into the Georgia Tech Athletics Hall of Fame. Ball on the tee from Burr will be kicking into the wind, though it has subsided a little bit. Here's the approach, boots this away, tumbling end over end, could be returnable for Prelo. He fields it on the run, right side at the 10, winding towards the middle, up past the 25, and finally piled up by the Jackets at the 26. That's P.J. Prelo on the return. Prelo, who is the son of Pearson Prelo, Hokies safeties coach, and Pearson Prelo is Joe Hamilton's cousin. Bet you didn't know.
You are correct, Andy. I did not know that. But I knew that you knew.
Yeah, I did not have to do a 23andMe, though. Joe is more than happy to volunteer that. So starting field position of the 27 for the Hokies. Kyron Drone so far is 3 of 5 for 19 yards. Also leads the Hokies 3 carries, 9 yards. Tech is so far sack-adjusted rushing has allowed the Hokies 4.2 yards a carry. Marcellus Hawkins played Division II football for Central Missouri last year. Only 3 games played, though, because of a bone bruise. But second on the team with 47 rushing yards per game. He's stacked beside Drones in the gun. 2 receivers and a tight end short right. Here's the snap against a 4-man rush. A pump fake and a deep shot down the left sideline for Green. It is incomplete, but another flag thrown. Well, that time it was Jai Gilmore in coverage, and he turned his head at the very last moment. There was some hand fighting, but evidently on the way down, there was enough to warrant a flag.
Pass interference. Defense, number 6. 15-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Yeah, that was a little shaky. They're going to tag Rodney Shelley Ford instead. But he had inside leverage, and he kind of cut off Green. I don't see a whole lot on the replay there to merit DPI, do you?
No, I mean, I like the coverage. There's a little bit of contact at the top of the route, but nothing that I think deserves a little laundry on the field.
Now shotgun 4 wide as they move it up to the 42. The snap to Drones. He puts into the belly of Hawkins, bending right. He's stacked up by the Jackets at the 44 for a gain of 2. Kanan Spalding filled the gap, the 6-foot junior from Lithonia.
Nice team tackle by the Georgia Tech front and linebacker Kanan Spalding filling the hole. starting this drive, Virginia Tech going for the big shot, gets the penalty, but again, in the college rules, 15 yards is better than the 40 yards reception would have been, so still on the wrong side of the field for Virginia Tech. Georgia Tech defense continues to be stout.
And Virginia Tech is without a top pass catcher in the junior Cameron Selden, out injured. 3 receivers stand up top on the left for Drones. Georgia Tech walks a linebacker into the gap. Kyron Drones breaks off the left side, 50, into Jacket territory at the 45. He angles out wide before he's tackled by Clayton Powell-Lee. Good pull read, and he gets the first down and more.
Well, nice job by Powell-Lee stopping this from being a bigger run. You know, A.J. Hoffler coming off the edge. He sees it. He mesh charges where he runs at it, but just a little late to get back.
Play action for Drones on 1st and 10. He's hit from behind by Hoffler and sacked back at the 48. Well, he missed ambushing Drones, but that is sack time for A.J. Hoffler. His first is a Jacket.
Great to see the young guy getting going. Just a good two-hand swipe on right tackle Aiden Lynch in the backfield, causing chaos. Like you said, a little late to read that run, but a nice pass rush. Freshman on freshman crime. Fuller is the winner.
3rd sack of the game for the Jackets at 2nd and 17. Top of the GT at the Virginia Tech 48. Orbit motion behind Drones. Again, pocket collapsing, has to step up. He scrambles up the middle past the 40 to the 45, rather, of the Jackets, and spilled by Andre Fuller at the 44. So he's able to gain 8, but it brings up 3rd down and 9.
Georgia Tech bring a little pressure, not quite able to get there. The first time that Drones has been able to get loose and have an effective run on the scramble.
3rd down and 9. Hokies are 0-2 on 3rd down. 6:36 and counting, 2nd quarter. Jackets leading 18-0. The slot on the left is 5'10" Takai Heath, 1 receiver right, and Aiden Green. Off coverage on him. Line to gain is the Tech 35. Snap to Drones, ranges back. He's hit as he throws, arching it down the right sideline, and it is caught but out of bounds. Aiden Green trying to reel that in against his chest, but could not drag a toe inbounds against the coverage of Harvey, and it's 4th down.
This is very, very close. A one-handed grab by Green. I thought he might have the toe in. Wouldn't be surprised to see him go back to this. No, on a second look, his foot is out of bounds.
Yep.
Georgia Tech continuing to get pressure with that 3 linemen kind of NASCAR look, running those twist games a la Wake Forest last week, and able to get home or at least get a shot on Drones and affect the throw.
That was a heck of a one-handed catch and a long back shoulder toss. But you're right, his right foot bisected the sideline. So out comes the punt unit. Nose the ball down, and this one is tumbling towards Stockton. Waves for fair catch. Takes a bounce at the 10, but the man who caught it staggered into the end zone, and it will be a touchback. Or will it be?
I was with you, Andy. I thought he went in the end zone.
Wow, they're putting that ball down to the half-yard line.
They are ruling that he did not go into the end zone.
It almost looked like he caught it, the gunner did, and then his momentum carried him into the end zone. And evidently got that ball out of his hands and down at the half-yard line. So I'll give Virginia Tech some credit. Last 2 drives, they've pinned long fields on the Jackets, but with 6:05 to go before halftime, Georgia Tech still in front, 18-0. We're back after this on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
It's college football season, so you need all the energy you can get. Luckily, Georgia Power knows a thing or two about saving energy. We understand that energy costs are an important part of your budget. That's why we're dedicated to providing tools and assistance that can help make a difference, so you can save your energy for the game. Visit georgiapower.com/myenergy to learn more.
Renaissance Rewards Extra is the checking account that checks all the boxes. Roadside assistance? Check. Cell phone insurance? Check. More than 400,000 local shopping discounts? Check. Up to $25 per month in ATM refunds and a great rate? Check. All in an easy-to-use mobile app. To open an account or find out more about Renaissance Rewards Extra Checking, go to renaissancebank.com or visit us at any of our more than 190 locations throughout the South. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
You won't be able to get through the football season unless you catch the latest news while you work. Lock in Cellini and Domino every weekday from 10 to 2 on 680 The Fan or the Fan app.
The field is buzzing. Now more Georgia Tech football, driven by Hyundai on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
Georgia Power, proud partner of Georgia Tech Athletics on a gorgeous late Saturday afternoon on the Flats. Tech, the 18-0 lead over Virginia Tech as they look to extend their best start in 14 years. Outgaining the Hokies so far, 193-51. Let's go down to the sidelines and Chris.
Guys, just had the opportunity to see a really interesting conversation in combo between the offensive line unit and the running back room. They think they figured out something here in this first half in regards to Virginia Tech's relationship from one of their safeties and a cheating linebacker. I couldn't get all the details, but I saw part of the conversation and the work on the tablet showing the relationship between one of the safeties, Andrew, maybe you noticed, the free or the strong, coming up in replacement of a linebacker in the Georgia Tech run game. Not sure if you guys have had the chance to notice it, but it was a very deliberate, pointed conversation on the Georgia Tech sideline.
Clearly taking advantage of that. Although they'll have to begin this drive at their half-yard line. Georgia Tech has two setbacks in Maddox and Hosley. They break the huddle quick. King drops under center. Couple of barks, now raises from his crouch. And he'll get the adjustment from the nearest sideline. Dot in the eye is Hosley. Quick hitter. Up the gut goes Hosley, and he pounds forward for a little bit to the 2.
Georgia Tech coming back to the same play they used to begin the last drive that started deep in their own territory. This one, even less wiggle room on that one. Just any room you can get to breathe is needed. Now they can back up and put King in the gun.
Hosley comes out. Bailey Stockton's the slot left. Shotgun, the setback is Maddox. One receiver up top with 5:34 to go, second quarter. Second down and not officially as King shifts Maddox to his right hip. He scans the line and now takes the snap waist high. Plants throws the out, caught Maddox up the right sideline. Takes a hit from the side, gets knocked out of bounds right at the 9. I'll go for 7.
Nice deliberate decision by Haynes King to get the ball to Maddox in the flat, let him do some work. Again, more breathing room to bring up third and short. If nothing else, Georgia Tech has given themselves space to operate special teams and offense.
Third down and 2 officially as they bring on an extra tight end and Josh Beetham replacing Stockton. That forces some substitutions in Kai from the Hokies. And their first-year defensive coordinator, Sam Sepkis, who was the linebackers coach for the Arizona Cardinals the last 2 seasons. Trey Maddox hands on thigh pass to the left of King. He waves Byrne in motion, fakes the toss, looking for room up the gut, but he is plugged up by the Hokies. No gain. Now, one toss fake too many, and the Hokies are just staying home, and they wrapped up Haynes at the line. So the Jackets go 3 and out.
Yeah, Virginia Tech kind of squeezes and scrapes to try to cover both. They take the defensive end, squeeze down, and then they scrape a linebacker over the top to take the toss away. Haynes King, when in doubt, going to trust his legs. There was not a gap for him to get into on that third and short.
So Marshall Nichols to punt from under his crossbar. Had a terrific season so far, 46.8 yards a punt with the long of 64. Isaiah Spencer standing right at midfield. 2 protections in front of Nichols. Blast this away against a rush. Sends one torpedoing down the far sideline. Caught by Spencer at the 40. Jukes up the left side numbers to the 50 and ridden out of bounds inside Jacket territory at the 46. So 3:49 to go in the second quarter. And Virginia Tech able to flip the field on the Jackets, but Georgia Tech still leading 18-0. Timeout on the field. We'll take one as well on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's for Entry Point Doors and Windows. Tired of the outside noise invading your home? At Entry Point Doors and Windows, their premium windows are designed to reduce unwanted noise while giving your home a stylish upgrade. Block out the chaos and bring a sense of calm and quiet back to your space with peaceful nights and serene mornings. Right now, take 10% off your purchase or 18 months same as cash with approved credit on all doors and windows. Ready to turn down the noise? Visit entrypointatlanta.com today for a free consultation. They're Atlanta's best for a reason. entrypointatlanta.com.
This time of year is awesome. The weather is cooling off and the backyard parties are heating up. Who has time to shop for natural gas? Especially when the grill cook is busy playing cornhole. Oof, these burgers are very well done. Burgers are ready. That's why Georgia Natural Gas keeps it simple with great rates and reliable service. And right now, lock in our lowest rate of the year at GNG.com because these days, simple is just what you need.
Every Georgia Tech game is on Atlanta's flagship station for the Yellow Jackets. This is The Fan, 680 and 93.7 FM. The Jackets are on the field. It's Georgia Tech football on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
Well, entering today, and you read this in Pat Forty's terrific column about Haynes King on SI.com, Haynes King has converted 9 of 10 third downs this year when running, with 1 to 3 yards to go. But consecutive third downs between 1 and 3 yards, unable to extend the drive. Georgia Tech forced a punt. It was a 53-yard boot by Marshall Nichols, but he outkicked his coverage because he had to get it away so quick, punting from his end zone. A 14-yard return by Isaiah Spencer of the Hokies, and Virginia Tech begins this next drive at the Tech 46. 3:49 in our second quarter from Bobby Dodd Stadium on Hyundai Field, where your number 13 Jackets lead the Hokies 18-0. Virginia Tech has 2 timeouts remaining. Georgia Tech 3. The Hokies get the ball to begin the second half, and so there's going to be some urgency right now in this next offensive series, Andrew, for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I think Virginia Tech may have read that same article, and as such, on the last 2 opportunities, kind of sold out to stop the Haynes King run at the expense of some other things. But because of those decisions, they've given themselves an opportunity here with 3:49 left for the old middle 8 double score, a big drive at a pivotal point in this game.
And 5 of Georgia Tech's 6 third down plays, according to Adam Prather, have been Haynes King runs. So back comes the Hokies offense left to right as we see it, you hear it. Shadows continuing to elongate here on Hyundai Field. Terrion Stewart, the sidecar, averaging a team-high 75 rushing yards a game, 2x2 receivers. They fake the outside zone, a rollout by Drones. He's being chased. He throws toward the sideline, and it's caught on the run at the Georgia Tech 32. And stepping out of bounds is Takai Heath for a gain of 15.
And Virginia Tech coming back to the same concept they started the game with, a flood concept, sprint out to the right, same route, same completion by Kyron Drones.
Takai Heath's 9th catch of the year in his 4th game of the season. Twins left, a receiver right. Drones the snap, the mesh. He calls his own number, running left. He's got a hole. He sprints upfield to the 15, 10, 5, and he's in for the touchdown, and he went untouched, calling his own number.
So Georgia Tech decided to bring a safety blitz to the left side of the offense of Virginia Tech. Because of the blitz gets picked up, and there's a gap in the middle. So when Kyron Drones breaks free, there's just not a defender there to stop this run. Huge answer by Virginia Tech, and Georgia Tech has 3:13 to make a little answer themselves.
18-6, point after on the way. Kyron Drones' 5th rushing touchdown of the season to lead the team. Tied a season long in yardage as well with that 32-yard scamper. Extra point is booted up and good by Love. So 3:13 to go, and the Hokies on the board. They had 51 yards of offense prior to that last drive, and they go 46 in 2 plays, 37 seconds to make it 18-7. And that energizes that Hokies sideline.
What's an example of how tenuous a college football game lead can be, right? Georgia Tech has pretty much dominated this game from the beginning until just a few moments ago. Virginia Tech has really just 2 big plays, and now it's 18-7. But Georgia Tech, a team that has been able to strike before halftime, and with the exception of the very last drive, has moved the ball every time they have it. A chance to go back to what they did on 3rd down. I anticipate Georgia Tech's ability to move this ball. Even if they can get a field goal, then you're up by 14.
Yeah.
And that's where that 2-point conversion comes in big. You know, a point here, a point there makes a big difference.
Sure does. 55th career touchdown in the college career of Kyron Drones, who spent his first 2 years at Baylor, his 3rd year as a starter in Blacksburg. He was actually offered by Georgia Tech back in April of 2020. And a cousin of Cam Ward, number 1 overall pick by way of Miami. Here's the run up by Lowe and the kickoff from left to right. This traces an arc towards the back of the end zone, lands above the O in Georgia Tech. And Tech will take the touchback.
Well, the first time for what feels like a while, Georgia Tech's going to have some room to breathe on their first play of the offensive series.
And they had to go 90 yards to get the field goal on their last scoring drive, and had to start from their half-yard line on the one after that. Seen more Trey Maddox coming in An injury-mired start to his college career. He's Holster behind King in the pistol. They bunch 2 tight ends and a wide receiver to the right. As Beetham slides across the line. A bootleg by King. Steps up in the pocket, airing it out down the left side on the post for Canyon. Cannot make the catch over the shoulder. Brent Key has his palms turned up wanting a pass interference as he thought Sheldon Robinson got there early, especially after his team has been called for a couple of defensive pass interferences, but no flags on the field at 2nd and 10. Oh boy, and they was definitely there early and got into the hands of Isaiah Canyon. That is a bad, bad miss by our crew.
Well, there's no question that Robinson goes right through Canyon's arms and is the reason that ball wasn't completed. That's just not consistent with the way they've called this game.
Trips right, Jamal Haynes in is the standing tail. King gathers the snap, ropes the screen, a block for Rutherford, up past the 30, 35. He cuts left and gets the first down to the 40, make it the 39-yard line, a gain of 14. Boos continue to rain down, but that's a good response by the Jackets, and Malik Rutherford might have been dinged up on the end of that play.
Timeout on the field, timeout.
And he and a Hokie both collided and both need attention with 2:50 to go in the second quarter. And so that brings play to a halt here. Malik Rutherford's team-leading 5th catch of the half. Currently 6th in school history. Give him 157 career catches, but now you just worry about the redshirt senior from Miami, Florida. 18-7, Georgia Tech on top. That makes Haynes King 9 of 11 for 83 yards and a touchdown. Did not play versus the Hokies last year. Part of that 2-game spell because of the injured shoulder. Thomas Williams is the injured Hokie. Redshirt sophomore cornerback as Malik gets helped up to his feet. He walks off under his own power. Doesn't look totally comfortable in doing so.
No, but good to see Malik pop up. Now he's jogging. Good to see him get off the field under his own power. Hopefully just a little shook up and able to get back in the game. His effectiveness on the screens and early downs has been a big part of getting some of these drives going thus far.
Georgia Tech still has its 3 timeouts as Dean Patterson joins the formation. 1st and 10 Tech at the Georgia Tech 39. As we wind the clock here in the second quarter in Atlanta. Jack is trying to extend their 8-game home win streak, their longest home win streak since 1991. Maddox to the left of King. He waves Patterson in motion. Takes the snap, holds the mash, flicks his wrist, finds Harpering down the left side, 50. 45 of the Hokies, lowers his shoulder and gets knocked out of bounds at the 41 of Virginia Tech. A 2nd catch of the half for Luke Harpering. And it goes for a 1st down and more.
Well, the Hokies sitting on that run. Georgia Tech been able to run the ball all day. The threat of that allows Harpering to get loose in the flat. An effective play, really well executed by the quarterback and the young tight end.
You did say you thought that Luke Harpering was poised for a breakout today.
I mean, time to head to get some lottery tickets, Andy.
Gives him 2 catches for 33 yards. That takes us to the 2-minute timeout. Georgia Tech on the move, leading Virginia Tech 18-7 with the ball resting at the Hokies 41. So with the 2-minute timeout, we step aside for this on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
Ever feel like the road is out to... Thankfully, Hyundai is always working to ensure it doesn't, with over 130 IIHS Top Safety Awards since 2006. IIHS Top Safety Awards include Top Safety Pick and Top Safety Pick Plus awards to Hyundai vehicles from 2006 to 2025.
Right now, for a limited time, get 1.99% APR on the Hyundai Tucson or the Tucson Hybrid. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end November 3rd. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Traffic and weather can't keep you up to date on what really matters to you. Make Chuck and Chernoff part of your routine weekdays from 2 to 6 on 680 The Fan. Or tell your smart speaker to play 680 The Fan.
Now back
to the field for more Georgia Tech football. Driven by Hyundai on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
Georgia Tech welcoming in Virginia Tech for the first time since 2021, although the road team has won 8 of the last 10 in this series. Tech on top 18-7. The right Tech on top 18-7 at the 2-minute timeout of the first half. Andrew Demetra, Andrew Gardner, Chris Mooneyham on the sidelines. Justin Hanover will anchor our Ramblin' Wreck halftime show. Listen back to the highlights of the first half, break down the stats, check around the ACC and top 25, and good to be part of that top 25 scoreboard, as has been the case for the last several weeks. Haynes King, 103 passing yards and a touchdown. Malachi Hosley, 5 carries, 70 rushing yards to lead the way for Tech. Malik Rutherford, a team-high 5 receptions for 33 yards, and that touchdown catch from King. Haynes coming off a season-high 349 total yards in the win over Wake Forest. He's got 7 carries for 18 yards, but the first score of the day.
This Georgia Tech offense got a little something going. This is a nice response drive after Virginia Tech's first touchdown. Just kind of moving this ball, eating up the clock, finishing the half, trying to get up by a minimum of 2 touchdowns here. Headed in, kind of ruined that middle 8 time that Virginia Tech trying to get that double score and kind of change the complexion of what's going on.
They've been running this offense smoothly against a Virginia Tech team that is 55th in the nation in stopping the run. Georgia Tech, 130 rushing yards per game. That's exactly how much Virginia Tech allows per game. Pistol set for King. As he swivels, pulls it. Flips right flat again to Harpring, turns upfield, breaks off 2 tackles, can wriggle out of an ankle tackle and stretches down to the 35, a gain of 6. But boy, it looked like a bowling ball just knocking pins over there on the edge as he broke upfield, but a good pickup of 6.
Luke Harpring doing the most when he gets the ball in his hands.
Already his 3rd catch, back-to-back receptions on this drive. King stacks Haynes behind him. Fans down 3 receivers to his left. Gives it on the stretch zone left to Jamal Haynes. And he tries to bust it to the outside. Runs right into a Hokie who stops him at the line. And he is fed up with himself. He needed to plant his foot in the ground and cut inside. Instead, wrapped up by Tyson Flowers. And with the clock now at 1:13 in the second quarter, it's 3rd down and 4.
And Jamal has been such a decisive runner today. Maybe the first time when he should not have bounced it. If he's able to cut back to the right, there's more in that play.
Georgia Tech has all 3 timeouts, but letting the clock tick down to 54 seconds. It's 3rd down and 4. They need to reach the Hokie 31. They heavy up the right side of the formation. King out of the gun. Right foot in front of the left. Takes 3-step drop, pumps over the middle. It is caught at the 32, but that's shy of the first down, hauled in by Rivers. So 4th down and 1. Georgia Tech not using a timeout yet. And now Brent Key does bang his timeout with 32 seconds to go in front of 4th down and 1. So from here, it would be a 49-yard attempt center of the field for Aiden Burr into the wind. But you just feel like there's more opportunity in this drive for Georgia Tech.
Well, he has got the leg for 49 yards, but every kick this direction today has been short. All the kickoffs, right? All the touchbacks have been going towards the south end zone, moving towards the north end zone. Everything has been short. There's been multiple returns for both teams in this direction. So this would be possibly the most difficult kick, including the game winner, in terms of like just the conditions are not favorable. So it looks like they're going to go for it. Doesn't surprise me. As you said, Andy, it just feels like there's a touchdown opportunity or maybe an easier kick than this one in front of us.
Well, Georgia Tech has not been its best, Andrew, on 4th down this year. They were 0 for 2 on 4th downs against Wake Forest, 2 of 7 on the season. It's 4th down and 1 between the hashes at the Hokie 32 as Georgia Tech breaks the huddle. They've got 2 tight ends. J.T. Byrne crouching down to the right of King, who empties out the backfield. He calls Haynes in motion. Now lassoing behind him. Takes the snap. Tosses. Bootlegs out to his right. He flips it. He finds a man. It's beat them at the 15. Beat them at the 10. At the 5. Lunging for the goal line. He's down at the half-yard line. Or do they call it a touchdown? Tech wants the touchdown. They say he's down at the half-yard line with 23 seconds to go. They may review it.
The field is a first down at the 1-yard line.
So they line up quickly.
Game clock will start on my signal.
Haynes King crouching under center. He's got Jamal Haynes, hands on thigh pass behind him, trying to burrow up the middle, gets a push from Jamal Haynes. A flag is tossed. No signal yet. I thought he crossed the plane with 17 seconds to go in the quarter. They will say he is stopped shy. And Brent Key is still pleading his case that they should have reviewed that last play on the stretch by Josh Beetham.
Well, there's a flag on the field as well.
Offside. Defense number 33 lined up in the neutral zone. Ball be placed half of distance to the goal. Remains first down.
So 17 seconds to go. I mean, the nose of the ball is just outside the goal line. Tech still has 2 timeouts remaining, leading 18-7. But I saw Josh Beetham's parents at Yellow Jacket Alley, and I said, it's only a matter of time before your guy gets a touchdown. And almost spoke that into existence.
It's the second time out of the half.
And the Yellow Jackets will use their second timeout. 30 seconds here. And again, I think the booze you're hearing is Georgia Tech fans wondering, why do you not review that last stretch by Josh Beetham as he almost hauled a Hokie defender with him across the goal line on a 4th and 1, almost got the touchdown out of it.
Yeah,
I think Brent Key wants to know that exact thing.
It looked good from up here. I mean, they haven't shown that replay in the stadium, but that looked as if Josh Beetham broke the plane. And again, why not just take a look at it? I mean, time for Georgia Tech wasn't even really an issue.
And if it's so close, why don't we review it?
I agree 100%. Now, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they have a view I don't. I mean, they certainly do. But I think you take a second look. But again, to go back to that play, great play design. You're kind of playing off the fake toss. They think he's going to run, and you're just able to leak Beetham out into the across the drag, and just huge play by Georgia Tech, well designed by Buster Faulkner.
Clock frozen at 17 seconds. Ball inside the right hash to the 6-inch line. King from the gun. He's got Hosley to his right, leaning forward. Takes the snap. He runs off right tackle and gets stopped at the 2. They'll march him back at the 3, and timeout called by Georgia Tech. That time they tried to have Haynes King out of the gun, peel off right tackle instead of dropping under center, and it turns into a TFL instead.
Yeah, Georgia Tech kind of a lead sweep design play is what they were trying to do. Georgia Tech up front running a zone blocking scheme and just not kind of staying in it. The defensive front for Virginia Tech able to find a gap to get through and able to bring Haynes King down and make this a much more difficult, second and goal from the 3 instead of first and goal from the half-yard line. Really, I mean, Georgia Tech's probably throwing this ball now with 13 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, you have no time for a fire drill field goal if you keep it on the ground with 13 seconds left. Tech out of timeouts.
You can throw it once for sure. Depending on how fast it is, you might be able to throw it twice, but you can't. Maybe like a rollout RPO would make sense if you could walk in, but I'd be surprised to see a run up the middle by Georgia Tech.
It was Kamari Copeland, the defensive tackle, 283 pounds, who came underneath his block and was able to haul down Haynes King. So it's now 3rd down and goal, right hash at the 3. Tech from right to left on top, 18-7. They split Canyon and Rivers wide left. One back, one offset to the right of King. Takes the snap, the mesh. He backpedals into the gun, throws to the back right of the end zone. Leaping catch, caught. Canyon touchdown. Flag was thrown, though, in the offensive backfield. So Canyon hauled it in pending the flag.
Holding offense, number 77. 10-yard penalty.
Keelan Rutledge gets called for the hold. Last guy you would expect. So 7 seconds to go. They'll replay the down. And is there enough time for Georgia Tech to maybe go for the end zone? Nope, they'll bring the field goal unit on. Boy, this is not the end of the half that you had hoped. You had a 1st and goal at the half-yard line, and now you got to settle for a field goal.
This officiating crew isn't making any friends at Bobby Dodd today, but as disappointed as Georgia Tech will be, the opportunity to go up by 14 into the half.
Yeah, first got to bang this through from 30 yards out for Aiden Burr from the right hash. Clean operation. Swings his right leg through it, and it is good. And again, I think what probably still chafes Georgia Tech fans is, even though it might have been the right call in the right spot, when it's so close to being a diving touchdown, why not just make sure you're absolutely correct and review that?
Well, not just that, Andy. You get the non-call on the pass interference, and then you think you're in the end zone. They don't take a second look at it, and then the holding penalty to take the touchdown off the board. It's just, I mean, it is always frustrating when it feels like the officials are a big part of the game, and right there it definitely was the case. But I don't want to bury the lead here. Georgia Tech does answer back, puts themselves up by 14. You'd rather have an additional 4 points, but a much stronger position headed into halftime. A good response from the Georgia Tech offense.
And I think worried to do it over again, Buster Faulkner probably would have just dialed up another sneak for Haynes King on that 2nd and goal from the half-yard line, if that. Instead of running him out of the shotgun.
Honestly, I'd love to see a replay on that because I thought he got in there too. I thought Georgia Tech got in the offense got in the end zone 3 times and ended up kicking a field goal.
I got to temper your frustration because you still are up 21-7.
Exactly.
Bird a kick into the wind as he swings away. Sends this tumbling end over end. Good boot on this. It'll land halfway deep for a touchback. Georgia Tech has outgained Virginia Tech 271-97 in this first half. And remember, the Hokies will receive the second half kickoff. I wonder if that last touchdown drive that came because of a short field invigorated the Hokies and their confidence in what they could accomplish against Georgia Tech. Kyron Drones only 33 passing yards. He came in averaging 202 per game. They will take their kneel-down formation here and head into halftime. But, like we said, got to temper the frustration because a lot of good came from those first 30 minutes from the team wearing white. As we've hit halftime now following that kneel down from Kyron Drones, 21-7 Georgia Tech, number 13 in the nation, leads Virginia Tech. Coming up, the Ramblin' Wreck halftime show. Justin Hanover anchors our coverage following this on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
Here comes the Ramblin' Wreck. My family and I love watching Georgia Tech football, though it's hard to choose between the big screen at home and the excitement of being in the stands. Either way, Scana Energy's part of the action as a proud partner of Georgia Tech. So join Scana and my family in cheering on the Yellow Jackets this season. Sign up with Scana today and get up to $100. Call 877-GO-SCANA or visit scanaenergy.com/jackets for details. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, Yellow Jackets fans, it's college football season, and SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of Hail Marys and walk-on heroes. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets, so you can be part of all the action this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Georgia Tech football games or to any other live event in Atlanta, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of Georgia Tech football. Let's go Yellow Jackets. SeatGeek.
Linda Beaver here. Summer may be over, but the deals are just heating up. Time to get to Beaver Toyota of Cumming because your car is here, your price is right, and it's time to drive. Low monthly payments, top dollar for your trade, 600 plus cars to choose from. We really do have a deal for everyone. And only here you get Beaver benefits with perks like lifetime powertrain warranty, lifetime oil changes, complimentary car washes, and loaners whenever you need them. Your deal's waiting, your car's ready. Visit BeaverToyotaCumming.com. Don't wait another minute.
Hi, I'm Larry Janeski from Atlanta Basement Systems, the all things basement tea company. Do you have a wet basement, a settling foundation, bowing foundation walls, or a nasty crawl space? You know, since 1987, over 90,000 homeowners have trusted our company to fix their basements and crawl spaces. Basement waterproofing, foundation repair, humidity and mold control, and nasty crawl spaces too. Call Atlanta Basement Systems today for all things basement tea.
Hey guys, John Michaels. If you have a smartphone or a smart speaker, you have all the tools to follow the Atlanta sports scene or the college football world. Tap the 680 The Fan app or tell your smart speaker to play 680 The Fan.
It's halftime, and with 30 minutes in the books, it's time to break down the first half.
Now he throws to the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown!
It's time for the Ramblin' Wreck halftime show. With all the highlights and stats, we get ready to buzz into the second half.
Justin Hanover back at Bobby Dodd Stadium at Hyundai Field. The Jackets controlling the play with a 21-7 lead here at the break. 271 yards for Tech compared to just 95 for the Hokies. Before we get to our halftime highlights, let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves. This is Georgia Tech football.
Every play of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets is live on WCNN North Atlanta,
a Dickey broadcasting station,
The Fan and the Fan app.
The Jackets offense rolling early on, a 9-play drive, 80 yards right off the bat. They would have a 1st and goal from the 2, and Haynes King would do the rest.
The snap to King, fakes the toss, dashes up the middle, and he cruises in for the touchdown. A surgical strike by the Yellow Jackets on their opening possession. 10:53 in the first quarter, and it's 6-0 Tech. Going for 2 on the jet sweep, curving around the right side and looping in is Malik Rutherford. Well, how about that? Georgia Tech going for 2 on its opening possession, and Malik Rutherford with the Superman stretch gets across the goal line, and it's 8-0 Jackets.
So the Jackets early on looking great on that first drive. 9 plays, 3 minutes and 40 seconds. The defense's turn now. And wow, would that be a great first defensive drive. The first play, a tackle for loss of 4 yards. The second play, Kyle Leaford gets Kyron Jones for the sack. Then a penalty makes it a 3rd and 20. And Tech gets the trifecta.
Motion from right to left. Here's the snap to Watson. He grips the laces. Trying to step up, but right into a Jacket who sacks him back at the 25. There's the first sack, hopefully not the last, and it's Matthew Alexander, the redshirt senior from Buford, getting his first of the season.
Absolutely swarming on that first defensive possession. 4.5 minutes to go now in the opening quarter. Still 8-0. The Jackets a 3rd and 6 from the Hokie 9-yard line. They would extend that lead.
Backs are split, bracketing King. He waves out Hosley. Takes the snap, ranges the throw. Pressure backside, guns underneath. It's caught Rutherford and into the end zone for the touchdown. Haynes King took the hit from the blind side, but threw a dart to Malik Rutherford for his 9th career touchdown, and Georgia Tech cashes in to make it 14-0, 4:34 in the first quarter.
Malik, 5 catches, 33 yards in the opening half. It would be 15-0 at the end of a quarter. A minute in to the second quarter, the Jackets on the move again, and Malachi Hosley doing some damage.
Hosley shoots out in motion. The quarter turn, the handoff. Hosley, big hole. He's at the 20, 25, breaking to his right 40, 45, and inside Hokie territory. They'll say the knee went down right at midfield, but boy, did he hit the gas for 36.
Big time run by the former Quaker. 5 carries, 70 yards in the opening half. A long pass play to Eric Rivers would go for 22 yards, get Tech in business again. It would stall out a little bit, though, and Aiden Burr settles for a 25-yard field goal to make it 18-0. Kyron Jones trying to do something for the Hokies, but A.J. Hoffler says, no, sir.
Play action for Drones on 1st and 10. He's hit from behind by Hoffler and sacked back at the 48. Well, he missed ambushing Drones, but that is sack time for A.J. Hoffler. His first as a Jacket.
Sack time indeed, the 3rd of the game for Georgia Tech, but Kyron Jones would get his revenge a couple of minutes later.
Drones the snap, the mesh. He calls his own number, running left. He's got a hole. He sprints upfield to the 15, 10, 5, and he's in for the touchdown, and he went untouched, calling his own number.
His 5th rushing touchdown of the season with just 3 minutes to go in the first half makes it 18-7. Plenty of time for the Jackets. In the final minute, though, Haynes King a 4th and 1 in plus territory. Oh, this was a big play.
Takes the snap, tosses, bootlegs out to his right. He flips it, he finds a man. It's Beatham at the 15, Beatham at the 10, at the 5, lunging for the goal line. He's down at the half-yard line.
Just down. They thought maybe it went in. It did not. The knee hit down. Then they tried a pass play to Isaiah Canyon, but an offensive holding would nullify that touchdown. So the Jackets, with 7 seconds to go, had to settle for another Aiden Burr field goal.
And first got to bang this through from 30 yards out for Aiden Burr from the right hash. Clean operation. Swings his right leg through it, and it is good.
So it would be good. 21-7 here at the break. Your halftime highlights brought to you by Emory Healthcare. Emory Healthcare, the healthcare provider for your Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. So they do it the unconventional way. They get to 21 thanks to an early 2-point conversion. Brent Keysound coming up, also a Georgia Power scoreboard. It's the Ramblin' Wreck halftime show on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
One of the toughest jobs in law enforcement is telling a family that a loved one has been killed by a drunk driver. That's why Georgia law enforcement works every day to keep drunk drivers off the road. Every DUI arrest could be one less family to lose someone to drunk driving. You can help. hand the keys to a designated driver, or call a ride service. It saves lives and prevents a costly DUI arrest. Drive sober or get pulled over. Brought to you by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with low prices in every aisle. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our low prices. Kroger shoppers never compromise. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hey, it's Lowe's here to tell you about a new, stress-free, and completely transparent way to purchase your next pre-owned car, truck, or SUV. It's with Tom Mitchell, the honest car guy. Tom, traditionally, I've been a payment buyer. How do you work with that type of buyer?
I have people that come in all the time and they want to spend $20,000. Okay, if their payments are $400 on $20,000, they don't realize without the doc fees, without all this other stuff, we can put them in a 22 or 23 model car and we can spend a little bit more money and have the same payment. So if you're a payment buyer, don't come in here just saying, I want to spend $20,000, because we can sit there and help you and we can put you in a newer car with lesser miles at a payment you need.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the honest car guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
Stream every Georgia Tech game totally free on the all-new Fan app. Download it now for Apple or Android and listen to the Jackets anywhere. Georgia Tech football is back on the field soon. This is the Ramblin' Wreck Halftime Show. Now let's go around the ACC and the rest of the college football landscape as we check the Georgia Power scoreboard.
Justin Hanover back at Bobby Dodd Stadium at Hyundai Field. The Jackets with the 21-7 lead here at the break. Now let's get to that Georgia Power scoreboard, where every powerful drive is brought to you by Georgia Power, the official energy sponsor of your Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Brent Keysound coming up, by the way, momentarily. Top 25 action, Indiana and Oregon tied at 10, the waning stages of the first half. Just went to the break, a game of field goals, the Red River rivalry. Oklahoma a 6-3 lead over Texas. John Mateer is playing. Notre Dame a slim 10-7 lead at the break over NC State. Number 22, Iowa State and Rocco Beck, 10 unanswered. They're leading in Boulder against Colorado 10-7. And Arkansas in the second quarter, a 10-7 lead over number 12, Tennessee. Some earlier finals, number 1, Ohio State outclasses Illinois 34-16. Ole Miss survives a scare against Washington State 24-21. Alabama 3 points better than Missouri 27-24. And oh boy, Pittsburgh 34, Florida State 31. It's the Seminoles' 8th straight conference loss. ACC play, SMU 34, Stanford 10. That's a final. And Wake Forest up 22-0 in the second quarter at Oregon State. Our own Chris Mooneyham caught up with the coach, Brent Key, on his thoughts in the first 30 minutes.
Coach, your defense has been dominant. 3 sacks and 3 tackles for losses. What are you seeing?
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, those emphasis we've made, being able to affect the quarterback more. We've still got to honor, we got responsibility on some of these quarterback reads. We had 2 big runs on. We got to get that cleaned up.
Boy, I don't want to get you hot, Coach, but I got to ask, what do the officials tell you on the non-review on the Beetham catch?
Yeah, well, they review it from the box or between the play. If it's questionable, they'll buzz it. That's what I was told. So,
all right, thanks, Coach. Thanks. Justin?
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Once again, the Jackets with a 21-7 lead here at the break over the Virginia Tech Hokies. Andy and Andrew coming your way, and maybe a little Coca-Cola stats from Andy Inshore. We can find out what's in his mouth. It is the Ramblin' Wreck Halftime Show on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
Get saucy on Georgia Tech game day with the new Papa Dippa from Papa John's. This 3-cheese pepperoni pizza is made for dipping and includes special garlic sauce and 3 new garlic-inspired sauces, including roasted garlic parmesan, creamy garlic pesto, and garlic hot honey. Handcrafted with 6-ingredient, fresh, never-frozen original dough and cut into 16 strips, so every dip fits perfectly in the cup. The new Papa Dippa is every game day dipper's dream. Get a 1-topping Papa Dippa for just $13.99 from Papa John's. Sting 'em. Fall is finally upon us, and that means football season, pumpkin spice, and bugs. But it's still warm here in Georgia, which means the local populations of pests like mosquitoes, ants, roaches, and rodents are still out and about. Luckily, you can trust the experts at Arrow Exterminators to protect your family and keep your home or business pest-free inside and out. The professionals at Arrow understand that it's not just any home, it's your home. Schedule your free pest inspection today. Call 888-GO-ARROW or visit arrowexterminators.com.
As a sports fan, you know what extra is about. You see it every time your team leaves everything they've got out on the field. That's what a Regions Green Print planning session with your banker feels like. Extra support, extra belief in you, and strategies that bring you extra financial confidence. We believe extra changes everything. And at Regions, extra is our ordinary. Regions Bank is a proud partner of Georgia Tech Athletics, member FDIC.
Looking for your next ride? Welcome to ALMcars.com, Atlanta's ultimate destination for new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. With 18 dealerships and over 6,000 vehicles in stock every month, at ALM you'll find the best deals on pre-owned to the latest new models. All makes, all models. Shop the full inventory now at ALMcars.com and skip the hassle. ALMcars.com. ALMcars.com, where Atlanta drives.
It doesn't matter if the headlines are about tech, the Atlanta sports scene, or the college football world. Trust me, Home Team Brandon Leak, weekday mornings, 6 to 10, in the locker room, on the Fan and the Fan app.
Yellow Jackets football is back on the field soon. Now more of the Ramblin' Wreck halftime show on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
Georgia Tech on top 21-7 over Virginia Tech. Let's glance at the stats. Georgia Tech has outgained Virginia Tech 271-95. More good balance by the Yellow Jackets. 143 passing yards, 128 rushing. They're 4 of 7 on third downs, 1 of 1 on fourth down. Virginia Tech, by contrast, has only had 3 third down attempts, 0 of 3 on all of them. Georgia Tech also 37 plays run to Virginia Tech's 21. Haynes King is 13 of 15 for 143 yards, 1 passing touchdown, no interceptions. Malachi Hosley at team-high 5 carries, 70 yards with a long of 36. Jamal Haynes is 8 for 39. Haynes King 8 for 16, though one of those went for a score. Malik Rutherford, the top target, through the air, 5 catches, 33 yards, and a touchdown. How about the tight ends? Luke Harpering, 3 for 39. Josh Beetham had the 31-yard completion and run on the 4th and 1 on Tech's last drive. Eric Rivers, 2 catches for 25 yards as well. Kyron Drones, the redshirt senior QB for Virginia Tech, 4 of 7 for 33 yards. Leads the Hokies on the ground, though, 7 for 52, including that 32-yard touchdown run. Interestingly, Tyrion Stewart, who was a game-time decision because of a shoulder injury that cost him the second half last Saturday versus Wake Forest, only 2 carries for 4 yards. Marcellus Hawkins, 2 carries for 9 yards. And Takai Heath, the only Hokie with multiple receptions. He's got 2 for 15. Defensively, Georgia Tech got after it. 3 sacks, 4 TFLs. Kyle Eford, a team-high 3 tackles. He has one of those sacks. A half sack for Braden Manley and Matthew Alexander. A.J. Hoffler has the other sack for the Jackets. It will be Virginia Tech football to begin the second half, and that follows this on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
If you like to do this, or that, or even that, and you want to stay with it, Emory's got your back, or your shoulder, or your hip, or your knee. Our sports medicine specialists treat more world-class, professional, and college-level athletes than anyone else in the state. We'll treat you like a pro and get you back in play. That's the Emory difference. Make an appointment at emoryhealthcare.org/sports.
The passion, the tradition, the rivalries. SiriusXM is your destination for all things college sports, and we've got you covered. On ACC Radio, there is complete coverage of every school in the conference, including live games, coaches' shows, and more. So cheer along on the SiriusXM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now you can get 3 months of SiriusXM free. Subscribe now. See offer details at SiriusXM.com/ACC Sports.
This fall, Central Heating and Air Conditioning is offering something rare. You get 2 incentives. Upgrade to a dependable Carrier system and get up to $2,100 in rebates and 60 months of 0% financing with approved credit. Central and Carrier have set the standard in heating and cooling for over 3 generations, and now's your chance to bring that comfort home with the best savings of the season. Call 770-GET-HEAT today or visit centralheat.com. Turn to your Atlanta Carrier experts, Central Heating and Air Conditioning.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
I bet you wouldn't hire a plumber who wouldn't tell you how much it was going to cost to complete the job. That's a blank check. Don't give your lawyer a blank check either. Hi, this is Brendan Dalton with FlatFeeFamilyLaw.com, a Georgia law firm. At FlatFeeFamilyLaw.com, our clients know up front what their case is going to cost. There are no billing games or retainer fee agreements. The cost for an entire case is $3,500. That's it. Divorce sucks. Don't tolerate the financial burden of unknown legal fees. Type FlatFeeFamilyLaw.com into your web browser. That's FlatFeeFamilyLaw.com.
Every Georgia Tech game is on Atlanta's flagship station for the Yellow Jackets. This is The Fan, 680 and 93.7 FM. This presentation of Georgia Tech football is a copywritten presentation of the Georgia Institute of Technology, Legend Sports, and Dickey Broadcasting Company. Any accounts, use, or rebroadcast of this presentation without written permission of Georgia Tech or Legend Sports is strictly prohibited. Now, toe meets leather as we head back to the field for the second half. Once again, here's the voice of the Yellow Jackets, Andy Demetra.
Jackets on top of the Hokies 21-7. 21st all-time meeting between Tech and Virginia Tech. This is the identical halftime score that Georgia Tech had in its last home game versus Temple. And Andrew, you'd hate for that last sequence, what was called, what wasn't called, what was reviewed, what wasn't reviewed, to spoil Georgia Tech's mojo, because for 30 minutes they played about as solidly and completely as you could, outgaining Virginia Tech 271-95. They only had 8 total sacks this season. They racked up 3 against Virginia Tech. See if they can come out and assert their dominance after Virginia Tech receives the opening kickoff.
Yeah, Brent Key and the Yellow Jackets certainly wanted a touchdown instead of a field goal. However, outside of one drive, Georgia Tech has scored on every drive except one and only looked poor on that one drive where they're pinned on the negative half-yard line. Defensively, Georgia Tech has played great with the exception of one quarterback run by Kyron Jerome. So really probably one of the more complete halves of football we've seen from Georgia Tech. So more of the same in the second half would be a 28-point win, and I don't think anybody's going to go home feeling bad about 42-14. So Georgia Tech, really, it's about more of the same and not getting caught sleeping coming out of the halftime by the Hokies.
Yeah, job far from done against a Hokies team that is 1-1 in the ACC, and that win came on the road at NC State. Burr has the ball nestled on the team. Now 12 of 12 on field goal attempts this season. The redshirt junior continuing to etch his name in the Georgia Tech record books. Scott Sisson, part of that 1990 national championship team that's here today. He kicked those 2 field goals, including the game winner in a 6-3 victory over the Hokies in Blacksburg in 1990. As Burr checks left, checks right, he strides the team and boosts the second half kickoff. From left to right with the wind at his back, and it sails towards the back line for a touchback. Cameron Jones last year against Georgia Tech had 128 passing yards and a touchdown, 21 rushing yards and a touchdown. He also caught a touchdown on a trick play. He became the first player in Hokie history with a rushing, passing, and receiving touchdown in the same game. Came in 90th in the nation in QB rating according to ESPN. Completed 4 of his 7 passes for 33 yards in that first half. He does line up Terrion Stewart beside him with an offset in front of him as well. Hokies from right to left in this third quarter. He flexes out Stewart, takes the snap, hesitates, runs off right tackle, up past the 30, and he tunnels ahead to the 31 for a gain of 6.
Well, I think Coach Montgomery realizes if the Hokies are going to have a chance, it's going to be off the legs of Kyron Drones, immediately starting with quarterback power out of the half. I mean, that really is their best chance to be able to move the football against the Georgia Tech defensive front.
I'll give him 7 to the 32 before the tackle by Daniels. As a sidecar and Stewart, 2-by-2 receivers. There's the snap. Long mesh gives it to Stewart up the middle. He drives the pile to the 36 and has enough for the first down. Tackle by Jordan Vandenberg. Coming up 2 tackles against Wake Forest. And a fresh set of downs for the Hokies in our opening minute of the third quarter.
And you wonder, Andy, with that only being Stewart's third carry, if that shoulder is giving him trouble today.
He is stacked beside Drones, who slides his tight end in front of Stewart. The snap on 1st and 10. He hesitates, runs right, and winds his way across the 40 to the 41. Gain of 5. Very patient running by Drones. As he peeled off to the right, tackled by A.J. Hoffler, but an on-schedule run on 1st down for Drones, who's far from a reluctant runner, even though he's only averaging 32.3 on the ground per game this year.
Well, Andy, that also takes into account sack yardage. You take that out,
yeah.
He's averaging about 50 yards a game.
And we expect Virginia Tech to be very deliberate in the running game. 2 receivers to the tight end left, 1 up top on the boundary, 2nd and 4. Snap. They'll throw right side. It's caught by Aiden Green across the 50 and wrestled down by the Jackets at the Georgia Tech 49. They sent a corner blitz, and it was smoked out well by Drones, who just fired a rope over to Green for the 1st down.
Yeah, the hot read, well read by Kyron Drones, as you said, just able to deliver that ball out to Green in replacement of the cornerback blitz.
Tackled by Clayton Powell-Lee. 1st and 10 now. 2 minutes gone by in our third quarter. 2-by-2 receivers. Handoff. Stewart up the gut, breaks a tackle, 45, a stutter step 40, tries to run over another tackle, and finally gets brought down at the 34. But a gain of 15 on a straight-ahead run by Tyrion Stewart, whose nickname is the Bully, and he was bulldozing Jackets there.
Well, Stewart finds a gap up the middle, and Lightsey not able to bring him down on first contact.
They wind up quickly. Shotgun snap. They fake the toss. Drone steps up in the pocket, throws down the right sideline. Almost intercepted by Kyle Eford. He tried to stretch out. He was in coverage on the tight end, Gosnell. That is one Kyle wants dearly back, but it's 2nd down.
Well, Jordan Vandenberg just pushing the offensive lineman, pushing center Kyler Altuner right back into Kylan Drone's lap. Makes the ball come out a little wonky, and Kyle Eford wants that play back. He wants a second chance at that pick.
And just rolling on the turf with his hands clasped on his helmet afterwards for a Georgia Tech team that still only has 3 forced turnovers all season in their first 5.5 games. Slot left to receiver right, 2nd and 10. Drones with Stewart. From the 34, here's the snap. And it's Stewart. Starting right, trying to counter left. Jackets are there, and they plant him after a gain of 1 to the 33. Clayton Powell-Lee filling the gap well. Man who had his first career ACC Defensive Back of the Week award as a freshman versus the Hokies in Blacksburg. Sets it 3rd down and 9.
Part of the way you stop a running back like Stewart is not letting him hit the hole at full speed. Well done by the Georgia Tech defensive line to force him to cut and allowing Clayton Powell-Lee to make that tackle.
Marcellus Hawkins is the featured back now. 2 receivers left, a receiver right. 3rd down and 9. Low snap handled by Drone. Still backpedaling. Sets up the screen left to Hawkins, but he drops it in the flat. Couldn't make that shoestring catch on the check down. It's 4th down from the 33. Do the Hokies keep the offense on, or do they bring on Love, who's got a huge leg? And looks like they're going to keep the offense on. With 11:40 to go in the third quarter, 4th and 9 from the Georgia Tech 32, down 21-7. And this is a gambit here by the interim head coach, Philip Montgomery. They need to reach the Georgia Tech 24. Drones flood 3 receivers to his left. Aiden Green along the boundary. Tight coverage on him by Harvey. Georgia Tech showing heat. Here they come. Drones, a straight drop. Lowe throws over the middle, man wide open at the goal line, makes the catch for the touchdown. It's the tight end, Jarekus Hairston, on a busted coverage, and all of a sudden it's 21-13.
Touchdown number 13.
Now Georgia Tech brought the house on 4th and 9, and somebody lost track of the tight end, Jarekus Hairston, for his 2nd touchdown of the season.
Georgia Tech choosing to blitz 6 on that play, almost able to get home, but not quite, and then just a little miscommunication on the back end allows for the easy pitch and catch out of the half for Virginia Tech.
Well, that decision on 4th and 9 pays off handsomely for the Hokies. Extra point is on the way, and it is good. And with 11:34 to go in the third quarter, 21-14 our score. We'll see what the Georgia Tech offense can do to respond on the other side of this timeout. Jackets lead by 7. We're back after this on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
It's football time, which turns Thursday and Sunday into the best days of the week. Well, they just got better, because now through October 26th, Keno has 30% higher payouts during bonus hours. Win $500, it becomes $650. That's like getting extra field goal points for scoring a touchdown. So play Keno online and anywhere Keno is sold and get 30% higher payouts during bonus hours. Thursdays 6 to 8 p.m. and Sundays 1 to 3 p.m. Only from the Georgia Lottery. Play responsibly.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric, and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
This is Kelly Krall. Listen for me with the Locker Room Team, Tuesday and Thursday mornings from 6 to 10 on 680 The Fan.
The Ramblin' Wreck keeps trucking along. It's Georgia Tech football on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
The Jackets force a 4th down and 9 at the Jacket 32. Virginia Tech opted to keep the offense on the field. They must have known the Jackets 6 of 8 in 4th down defense this season. They brought some heat. There was a bust downfield, and it led to a rather routine 33-yard touchdown pass from Kyron Drones to his tight end, Jarikus Hairston. Following the extra point, it's now a 1-touchdown game. Tech 21, Virginia Tech 14, with 11:34 to play in the third quarter. On the former Yellow Jackets in the building tonight, just got saluted on the video board. Began his career with the 49ers, now with the Minnesota Vikings. That would be one Jordan Mason. I've seen few running backs get better as the game goes on and tire less than J.P. Mason.
Oh, yeah, you got to appreciate Jordan Mason, the way he plays the football game. Just a hard-nosed runner. He wants the volume carries. The more you give it to him, just downhill over and over and over again. And it's great to see him find a place in the NFL and be an effective piece. That type of running style is going to keep him around for a while.
You first saw that honed here on the flats, although he was surpassed on the career rushing yard total by Jamal Haynes last week versus Wake Forest.
Hopefully another one with some time on Sundays, but two guys that deserve to be on that list, two quality running backs.
And Jamal is 12 yards away from moving into the top 10. Next on the list is C.J. Williams. It's a 21-14. Kickoff will be into the wind by Kyle Lowe, who's been terrific on touchbacks this year, wind or not. 26 of 29 coming in. Gordon split on the left hash, and Shea Marshall split on the right. Georgia Tech authored the response here after the Virginia Tech scoring drive. It's booted away to Knuckler. Takes a sharp hop right past the feet of Marshall. Let us skitter in through the back line for a touchback. Well, Haynes King in that first half, 13 of 15 through the air for 143 yards and a touchdown. Missed on some short yardage runs that have almost become routine at this point. And Haynes King sometimes makes you forget how difficult it is to get those tough yards between the tackles. As he jogs out from the near sideline, Jackets from left to right in this third quarter. Brings on his redshirt senior Jamal Haynes, who will line up at his left hip. A slot right. King measures up the front. He waves out Haynes. Takes the snap chest high. Plans, throws right. Caught on the curl by Canyon. Tries to spin out of a tackle at the 32. They'll mark him down at the 33 for a gain of 8. Tackled by the freshman cornerback JoJo Krim. Believe it or not, that's Isaiah Canyon's first catch of the day.
Well, it's a good job by Isaiah Canyon just sitting down in the zone. Virginia Tech sprinting to that kind of screen look by Georgia Tech, and Isaiah Canyon just sits down in the zone, nicely delivered on first down from Haynes King.
Isaiah had that touchdown catch at the end of the first half, wiped out by a holding penalty. He split all along the boundary right. Rivers and Rutherford split left between the hash and numbers on 2nd and 2. Canyon now in motion. The snap to King. Throws the slip screen, caught. And Rivers has space, sprinting left to the 40. Rolled up there, he's got the first down. Good block on the edge there by Canyon. And Eric Rivers able to bolt upfield for a first down.
Good blocking on the edge, well executed by Georgia Tech. Caleb Woodson just quick to read it, a little too quick inside, able to turn a would-be big play into just a conversion.
Ball left hash at the 41. 3 receivers on the wide side right for King. Fakes the outside zone. Here comes pressure. He's smoked out of the pocket, running right, throws down the seam. It's caught at the 35. Oh, is that JT Byrne down to the 30? The catch by the tight end. Make that Brent Seither. Welcome back, Brent Seither, who missed the Wake Forest game. Way downfield for a first down.
Good job, good presence in the pocket by Haynes King to avoid the pressure, raw to the right and find Seither, getting all the tight ends involved.
Yeah.
I mean, Byrne, when's your turn?
Brett's third catch of the season. Trips left in front of first and 10 from the Hokie 30. Orbit motion by Rutherford. Inside handoff is Jamal Haynes, bouncing right at the 25 toward the sideline, knocked down at the 22. 8 yards by Jamal Haynes as he felt for that crease off right tackle. As Tech continues to move, 9:30 and counting third quarter, leading Virginia Tech 21-14.
It was good blocking by the Georgia Tech offensive front, and you're seeing the kind of the Haynes King effect where the defensive end from Virginia Tech kind of respecting him, keeping the ball, allowing Jamal Haynes to get up underneath the end.
I'll go with the modified pistol, Hosley with Haynes. Haynes waved out to the left. The snap, the give. It's Hosley up the middle, runs through an arm tackle to the 20, driving the pile down to the 15. Gain of 7 on Malachi Hosley. He points for those chains to move, and Georgia Tech has it inside the red zone.
Strong running by Hosley. Georgia Tech back-to-back plays going with the counter action. Well blocked up front, just moving the chains. Methodical offensive play after the big throw to the tight end.
Malachi Hosley still does not have a negative rushing yard this season. That gives him 6 carries for 77 yards. He's holstered behind King, who has Jamal Haynes to his right. Tight end left on first and 10 from the Hokie 15. Snap to King, swivels, hands off Hosley, plants his foot in the ground. He's at the 10, left side of the 5, and he bangs his way into the end zone for the touchdown. We said it before, we'll say it again. Stunt on them, Hosley. Malachi Hosley for the touchdown. 27-14 Jackets.
A nice piece of running by Malachi Hosley. Georgia Tech runs counter right, followed by counter right, and then they come back to zone left. A nice hole up the middle, patient running by Hosley, but when he sees it, he puts his foot in the ground and he races the defense to the end zone. Great drive, great answer by Georgia Tech.
Got to salute the big guys. The lead blockers came from the right side of the line, and Carney and Rutledge. Extra point on the way by Burr, and he drills it. That's quite the response by Georgia Tech. 6 plays, 75 yards. Malachi Hosley with touchdown at number 5 of the season. He's closing in on his second 100-yard rushing game as a Jacket. 92 yards overall. That one covered 15, and it results in a house call for the native of Columbus. 28-14, Tech on top of the Hokies. Timeout on the field. We'll take one as well on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
It's college football season, so you need all the energy you can get. Luckily, Georgia Power knows a thing or two about saving energy. We understand that energy costs are an important part of your budget. That's why we're dedicated to providing tools and assistance that can help make a difference, so you can save your energy for the game. Visit georgiapower.com/myenergy to learn more.
Hey, Yellow Jackets fans, it's college football season, and SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of Hail Marys and walk-on heroes. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets, so you can be part of all the action this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Georgia Tech football games or to any other live event in Atlanta, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of Georgia Tech football. Let's go Yellow Jackets. SeatGeek.
Traffic and weather won't keep you informed of what really matters to you. This is John Michaels of The Locker Room reminding you to start your workday in The Locker Room weekdays from 6 to 10 on 680 The Fan, 93.7, and The Fan app.
From every huge touchdown to every epic stop, it's Georgia Tech football driven by Hyundai on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
Tech a 28-14 lead over Virginia Tech. Yellow Jackets have gouged the Hokies for 158 rushing yards. A Virginia Tech defense that had held their last 3 opponents below 100 rushing yards. 6 plays, 75 yards in that last drive, the 15-yard dash by Malachi Hosley. Let's check in on Who's Delivering, presented by Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. And we got to give credit to the tight ends as a group, Andrew. Through the first 4 games of the season, they only had 7 combined receptions. Well, today alone, they have 5. Luke Harpering has 3. Josh Beetham has 1 for 31 yards. And Brett Seiler with a nice 29-yard reception from the arm of Haynes King on that last drive.
Andy, it's great to see the tight ends get going. I think the more they're involved in the passing game, the more it opens up everything Buster Faulkner does, because you use that position so much as fullbacks, as blockers for the jet sweeps, and all the pulling and blocking in space they do. You have to beat them to stop this running attack. And so as soon as you misread as he's trying to block me, you can just slip him out all over the place, and you start finding him. It makes it really hard for the defense to properly read what's going on. 3 of the 4 longest completions from Haynes King today have gone to the tight ends. The drop of the arm by Burr. Blast the kickoff away, and this one booming towards the back once again for a touchback. Now Virginia Tech slowly starting to find its offense after they marched 75 yards on their opening drive, converted on a 4th and 9 for a 32-yard touchdown. For Kyron Drones' 10th passing touchdown of the season, avoided an interception from Kyle Eford earlier in the drive. You know that's one Kyle wants back. He's got the neck roll. He's got the jersey rolled up into the half shirt like he's straight out of Brian Bosworth's Central Casting down there. Yeah, he wants that one back. He's got the tackles to go with the look. Now he just needs the interception to complete the whole package.
Marcellus Hawkins, the standing tail left of Drones, a slot left as he takes the snap, short drop. He wheels out to his right, throws toward the sideline, and a catch made even with the sticks by Aiden Green. He pulled that into the shoot tops, but got the first down to the 35.
Virginia Tech coming back to the rollout between having an athletic quarterback and an offensive front that's struggling to block. Not surprised to see them start with the rollout pass and expect them to come back to it to use the legs and his arm as a threat.
Aiden Green's team-high 3rd catch of the day. He's 2nd on the Hokies this season with 20 receptions. 2 receivers in the tight end split left. A shotgun snap to Drones, holds and runs right as he burrows ahead to the 38 before he's finally spilled by Clayton Powell-Lee and E.J. Lightsey. Gain of 4 for Drones.
It's a very similar attack to the last drive. The plays they've had success with is the rollout kind of flood concepts to Drones right and Drones running. They're mixing those two together to get this drive started.
Well, he had 176 rushing yards for Virginia Tech in their bowl game 2 years ago. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Gives it to Hawkins, explodes up the middle, 40, 45, and he's got the first down to the 48. They're really trying to lock onto the mesh. And that time it caught the Jackets flat-footed. Marcellus Hawkins straight up the gut for a first down.
And Virginia Tech comes with a counter long mesh play. And again, the threat of Drones kind of holding defenders and allowing Hawkins to get loose.
Starting to ride that mesh a lot more assertively. 3 receivers split left, 1 receiver right. 1st and 10, the Hokie 48. Snap to Drones. Gives it on the outside zone right. And past midfield, past the 45 goes Hawkins. He's finally hauled down from behind, but not before picking up 9. Wrapping off right tackle, Marcellus Hawkins. 5'11", 219. They've got some thumpers in that backfield, even when you get past Terrion Stewart.
Yeah, the Virginia Tech offense is finding a little bit of a rhythm, and they've struggled to pass block, but the offensive line is getting some movement these last couple of drives.
2nd down, less than 1. Right hash of the Georgia Tech 43. It's again put in the belly. Nope, it's a throw over the middle on the slant, and it's intercepted. It was overthrown, and it was picked off by Rodney Shelley. On 2nd and short, they went with the slant, and it was sailed over the top of Takai Heath, and Rodney Shelley has his first career pick, the senior from Fairburn, Georgia, right on the spot.
Rodney Shelley, right place, right time. They say tips and overthrows, got to get those, and this one was an overthrow. Kyron Drones, for as much explosiveness that he provides their offense, he will do this. Throw it low, leave it high. He leaves the ball high, and Shelley is just there. And when you leave it out into the secondary, you put yourself at risk.
Now, Rodney Shelley, Andrew, had his first start of the season last year at Virginia Tech. Started the last 4 games on the field against the Hokies. This year, he gets the pick. And with that, we've hit timeout. 6:08, 3rd quarter. Tech 28, Hokies 14. Back after this on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
And welcome back. We are live inside Walk-On Sports Bistro, where football season is really heating up.
That's right, Jim, and fans are pouring in, ready to watch the big games.
Walk-On Sports Bistro is the place to watch your favorite college and pro games with wall-to-wall sports, great food, and, of course, delicious cocktails.
And nothing goes better with football than 24 ice-cold beers on tap.
You can say that again.
Sting 'em!
And fans are going crazy.
Walk-On Sports Bistro in the avenues at West Cobb and now in the Battery, Atlanta, where every day is game day.
Hey, it's Cellini here for Window Traditions. My buddy Dan Shaughnessy is the owner, and he's been telling me for years what new windows and doors can do for your home, adding curb appeal, improving energy efficiency, and helping control the temperature of your home year-round, saving you money. Also, Window Traditions has 2 great showrooms in town, Lake Oconee and the original in Johns Creek.
For windows and doors, make the right decision. Call Window Traditions.
WindowTraditions.com.
Equal housing lender.
You won't be able to get through the football season unless you catch the latest news while you work. Lock in Cellini and Domino every weekday from 10 to 2 on 680 The Fan or the Fan app.
Let's get back to the Jackets. More Georgia Tech football, driven by Hyundai on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
After the game, we'll crown our Georgia Natural Gas Impact Player, brought to you by Georgia Natural Gas. Live the greener life and make your natural gas usage carbon neutral at gng.com/green. Rodney Shelley with his first career interception in his senior season. Missed the first 2 games of this year due to injury. Got the pick on an overthrown slant from Virginia Tech QB Kyron Drones. Tech takes over at its own 31, 6:08 third quarter, and on top 28-14 over Virginia Tech.
Well, Georgia Tech defense that has struggled this year, both getting sacks and turnovers. Both of each today, finally gets that turnover. Almost had one on the last series. Couldn't come at a better time. This Georgia Tech offense is rocking and rolling. Now has an opportunity to get up by 3 scores.
346 yards of offense so far today for Georgia Tech. They've gone with a lot more 2-back looks, and they'll do so here as they emerge from the huddle with Haynes and Hosley bracketing King in the gun. Stockton the slot left, Canyon split right. As Haynes motions out, the mash and the give, it's Hosley straight up the gut, barreling past the 35, a strug pile up to the 37 for a gain of 6. Never actually was brought down, just had his forward progress stopped, but again, productive first down yardage by the Penn transfer Malachi Hosley. He was 4th in the FCS last year, averaging 119 rushing yards per game for the Quakers. He was a pretty good former Penn player once upon a time. He was of some renown at Georgia Tech. John Heisman was a Quaker. I got one more story on him as well. Once again, that power pistol. Hosley with Haynes. Haynes flexes out. Snap to King. The quarter turn. The handoff. Hosley spins off one tackle, grinding up to the 38. He'll be shy of the first down, only a gain of 1. John Heisman played offensive line for 2 seasons at Penn. He played his first 2 years at Brown. So even John Heisman, for all those who want to wring their hands, was a transfer. Andrew Gardner.
As wild as it's getting now, it may have been even wilder when the game originally started. Maybe it's just getting back to its roots finally.
Tech is 4 of 7 on 3rd down. Jamal Haynes, the pistol back. 3rd down and 3 from the 38. Canyon zooms in motion. Here's the snap. Play action for King. Wheels out to his left now. Looking backside. Dumps it to Haynes. Has room. 45-50. And he scoots out of bounds inside Hokie territory at the 49-yard line. Flag was tossed in the backfield. They'll ding the Hokies for a late hit. It'll be 15 more in the Jackets' direction.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense number 98. 59 penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
That would be the 297-pound senior defensive tackle and transfer from North Dakota State, Cody Heisman. Spells it H-U-I-S-M-A-N, but that will not go toward his Heisman trophy reel for your consideration. They'll move it up to the 35, 1st and 10 Tech.
Well, Virginia Tech, just so much respect for the Georgia Tech running game. Just all the players in the box, he could have thrown it left or right. Well done by Georgia Tech.
Jamal stacked behind Haynes. They give it to him, angling left at the 35. Another flag was tossed between the tackles as he fights ahead to the 30. And a gain of 5 pending the flag. Don't quite like where that flag was tossed, though.
That is sitting in the holding area.
Now let's see.
Holding. Offense number 72. 10-yard penalty. First down.
So it's on Malachi Carney, the right tackle. Wipes out that 5-yard pickup. 4:31 third quarter. Tech, though, still inside Hokie territory after the penalty flag to the 45. Leading 28-14.
First and 20 from the 45.
But it'll be first and 20.
The first time Georgia Tech's been off schedule this half. First and 20, backing it up. Not a lot of plays for 20 to go, but it is first down.
They deploy 3 receivers wide left. Unbalanced line to the right for Haynes. He beckons Rivers in motion. Off a play fake. Guns it over the middle. It's batted in the air. Incomplete. Trying to find, I believe, his tight end Sidler slipping down the seam, but somebody got a paw on it. And even though it fluttered up for a little time there in the air, it lands incomplete.
It was a good play design and the right read by Haynes King, but Hokie defender able to get his hands in the passing lane to stop what would have been a big completion to Sidler.
So second and 20 on only Haynes King's third incompletion of the day, 17 of 20. A slot left, a receiver right. Orbit motion from Stockton as the linebackers creep up. Another play action. They throw the tunnel screen to Stockton, but he drops it on the left hash. Got the Flintstone feet, it looked like. And what would have been an easy catch and run for Bailey Stockton. Instead, third and 20. Now you have the ball at the 45. You got the wind at your back. You don't need to grab all 20 yards, even though you'd love to. But you want to make this a reasonable field goal if it comes to that for Aiden Burr.
Yeah, I expect Georgia Tech to probably push something deep, to threaten that you're going for the big play for the first down and bring some underneath routes just to get some of this back. And like you said, with the wind at your back, put yourself in field goal position.
Hosley the setback. He gets flexed out by King. Trips to his left. 4-man rush, the snap. They give it to Hosley on the misdirection, 40-35. Barreling down the right hash to the 34-yard line. He gains 11. It'll make it fourth down and 11. And now the field goal unit comes on from the right hash for what would be a 51-yard attempt from Aiden Burr. With inside of 4 minutes, third quarter, Georgia Tech leading Virginia Tech 28-14.
Georgia Tech taking advantage of the soft defense to set up the field goal attempt. Kind of a sprint out action by Haynes King and hand it off the other direction for the 12-yard gain.
This will be closer to a 52-yarder from the right hash for Burr. He's ready. Snap is zipped back, set down, booted up, and it got blocked. Somebody got a hand on it, and the Jackets come away empty-handed on Aiden Burr's first missed field goal of the year in 13 tries. Boy, the Jackets really had a chance on that last offensive possession to, if not put this game out of reach, really have Virginia Tech thinking about the post-game meal. Instead, it's still a 2-possession game, 28-14, with 3:29 to go in the third quarter.
Virginia Tech able to just get a little penetration through that Georgia Tech front, and that's what it took for Aiden Burr to miss his first field goal of the year. But, penalties, mistakes, that's the kind of stuff that throws drives off and drives coaches crazy. That's the first kind of slowdown of the Georgia Tech offense with self-inflicted penalties.
So back come the Hokies at their own 34. The sidecar is Stewart. Orbit motion behind Drones. And a flag before the snap. Somebody flinched on that Hokie offensive line.
Ball start. Offense. Number 76. 5-yard penalty. First down.
The right tackle, Aiden Lynch, as astutely pointed out by Kelvin Hill. So backs up the Hokies 5. Kyron Jones has connected on 7 of 13 passes, 85 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. He now shifts Terrion Stewart to his left, stirring in a 4-man rush with 2 receivers right, 1 left. The clap and the snap holds the mesh, gives to Stewart, and he gets knifed down up the middle. He tried to spin off toward the left, but he was upended by Matthew Alexander.
Stout defense by Matthew Alexander, also getting a little assist from his running mate Braden Manley. Well played by that Georgia Tech defensive front, not being fooled by the long mesh.
Matthew Alexander was a half sack today. No gain on the play, 2nd and 15. Crowd roaring back to life. Inside of 3 minutes, third quarter. 28-14 Jackets. They condense the formation, 2 receivers each way. Here's the snap, 3-step drop Drones. He passed the ball, checks down left side to Stewart at the 30, a stutter step to the 35, and gets wrestled down at the 36. He makes back the original line of scrimmage before Spalding and Powell Lee combine on the stop. Sets up third down and 9.
Good coverage on the back end, forces the check down to Stewart. defensive defensive backs rallying for the good gang tackle to bring up the 3rd and 8 situation.
Hokies still have yet to convert a 3rd down. 0 for 4, though. Their lone 4th down conversion went for a touchdown. Slot right. One receiver splits short left. Drones takes the snap. He ranges back, looking over the middle. Still crow hopping around. Throws down the left side. Incomplete. His wide receiver, Isaiah Spencer, never had his back turned, and it was an underthrow as well. As he was starting to crow hop outside the pocket. A good job by Georgia Tech after the blocked field goal to force the punting unit to come on.
Much better communication on the back end. 2 drives ago, Georgia Tech on a 4th down situation brings pressure, miscommunication on the back end. This time, everyone on the same page to get this Virginia Tech offense off the field.
So back comes Beltsistis to punt from his own 22. Shadows now completely saturating the field here. As he boots this away, a high spinner towards Stockton, waves for fair catch, and he hauls it in at the 17. 2:03 to go. Georgia Tech brings the offense back on, leading Virginia Tech 28-14. Make the easy choice, switch to Scana Energy today. Yellow Jackets trying to extend their win streak at home to 9 games. Longest streak since that school record 17-game run from 1989 to 1991. And those 1990 national champion Yellow Jackets certainly part of that, being saluted today for their 35th anniversary. So back comes the Tech offense left to right. Jamal Haynes cinches the gloves tied, standing at the left of King. 2 receivers tight right, 1 receiver left. Rutherford sprints in motion. A pull and a run off left tackle for Haynes King at the 20. He gets clipped from behind and dives ahead to the 24 for a gain of 7. Someone swiped at his ankles and saved a big gain from Haynes King, but he'll still take 7 on 1st down.
Well, Georgia Tech has moved away from a lot of the Haynes King running for a while, and you see when they go away from it how much it opens it up later.
He splits 3 receivers right. Haynes behind him, puts it in his belly. Runs right, tries a counter left, and drives the pile past the 25 to the 27. They say on forward progress he'll be stopped about a yard shy. 1:26 and taken, 3rd quarter. Jamal Haynes now up to 49 yards on 10 carries. Definitely got refreshed during the bye week, and you know what he told me he did? Went tubing up in Helen, Georgia.
Right.
That crisp alpine air of Helen, Georgia.
The healing waters of Helen, Georgia, and it's
not quite the purifying waters of Lake Minnetonka.
Very close.
But it does the job. As Tech slaps hands on the lines. Haynes will say the sidecar right of King. Tight end crouches down right. 3rd down and 1. Here's the snap. Haynes hesitates, runs off right tackle. He's got the 1st down at the 30. Absorbs a hit and finally dragged down to the 31 for a gain of 5. Georgia Balance with the tackle for Virginia Tech. It'll give Georgia Tech a 1st down.
Good run by Haynes King. Nice blocking by the Georgia Tech offensive line. And again, when they go away, they just spent 1 quarter of just like not feeding the Haynes King machine. And all of a sudden, it's like the defense forgets about it. And then there it is. It's wide open again. So good to see that kind of back and forth from the play calling.
On 1st and 10, 1 back, 1 offset right of King, who now waves Jamal Haynes to his left. Takes. Hands off, and Jamal Haynes started to go right, now swings out left, avoids an ankle tackle, gets a block downfield, 35-40, and he's knocked out of bounds on his feet at the 39 for a gain of 8. They're trying to run that misdirection, slanting to the right, but that was hemmed in, and so Jamal made the business decision of reversing his field. He got a nice block on the edge after he avoided an ankle tackle, I believe, from Isaiah Canyon, who allowed him to plant his foot in the ground, turn the corner, and gain 8 yards out of it. That takes us to the end of quarter number 3 at Bobby Dodd Stadium, a Hyundai Field. Your score, Tech 28, Virginia Tech 14. We're back after this on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
Renaissance Rewards Extra is the checking account that checks all the boxes. Roadside assistance? Check. Cell phone insurance? Check. More than 400,000 local shopping discounts? Check. Up to $25 per month in ATM refunds and a great rate? Check. All in an easy-to-use mobile app. To open an account or find out more about Renaissance Rewards Extra Checking, go to RenaissanceBank.com or visit us at any of our more than 190 locations throughout the South. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Georgia Natural Gas knows there's strength in numbers. Like one tree is good, but a whole forest helps the entire planet. And one person doing their part for the environment is nice, but when we all get together, big things can happen. That's what our Greener Life program is built on. You can reduce your home's carbon footprint just by paying your gas bill. And the more people who join, the greener life becomes for everyone. See what I did there? Join today and get 12 months free. Visit gng.com/green.
Every Georgia Tech game is on Atlanta's flagship station for the Yellow Jackets. This is The Fan, 680 and 93.7 FM. You're locked into Georgia Tech football, driven by Hyundai. Now back to the voice of the Jackets, Andy Demetra.
Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. Fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy Coca-Cola. Georgia Tech out of the bye, back in ACC play, and looking to stay back in the rankings for another week, leading Virginia Tech 28-14 through three quarters. Jackets have outgained the Hokies 398-210. You can't do much more battles than this, Andrew Gardner. Of those 398 yards of offense, 198 rushing, 200 passing. All coordinators aim for balance, and Buster Faulkner is giving a clinic on that so far.
I mean, you couldn't go 199 and 199. That's too much.
That's true, yeah.
No, I mean, it really is impressive. Georgia Tech able to attack Virginia Tech both on the ground and through the air. And again, not just with the Haynes King run, but with Malachi Hosley, with Jamal Haynes, spreading the ball around to the tight ends and the wide receivers and throwing the ball to the running backs. It's great to see this offense. I'm not going to say clicking on all cylinders in a few moments, but in all different ways attacking Virginia Tech. It becomes very difficult to stop them. And we just saw in the last few plays moving away from giving Haynes King the ball as much. When they came back to it, those plays were all of a sudden just wide open again. Like they don't key on him, and then it's that much easier to do it.
The big question coming in was Georgia Tech would it be able to maintain its efficiency running against the Virginia Tech defense that has shown some saltiness in stopping the run this last couple of games. Well, Georgia Tech is averaging 6.2 yards a carry.
They've held the last three opponents to under 100 yards, and Georgia Tech going over 200.
Yeah, doubling that right now. We flip sides to the final quarter. Tech right to left. That's toward the north side of Bobby Dodd Stadium, toward the student section. Packed out again today. Haynes King 17 of 21 for 200 yards and a touchdown. Those 17 completions have been spread among 9 different receivers. As the Yellow Jackets clap and align. Beetham and Canyon tight to the right. Trey Maddox, the 6'2 running back, takes the carry, breaks right at the 40, runs through a tackle, 45, and pinballs his way to the 48 for a gain of 9. Good sharp running, one cut and go by Trey Maddox.
Good downhill style by Maddox on this run. Again, this one's just inside zone. Finds the whole backside. Maddox downhill for the second down conversion. A situation where Georgia Tech happy to let this clock tick away and run the ball over and over again.
And you just wonder if all these runs are punishing Virginia Tech and causing their stamina to flag now. Split backs, Hosley and Haynes. They sandwich the redshirt senior Haynes King. Takes the snap, short drop, a pump fake. Now throws down the left sideline. Connor Rutherford at the 40. High wires the sideline and out of bounds at the 36 for a gain of 12.
Good ball by Haynes King. Rutherford just sitting in the zone. The Jamal Haynes swing draws defenders up, allows Rutherford to find some space right at the first down marker. Good complementary play calling, playing off of the swing pass by.
It was kind of a levels concept to a swing pass, if there is such a thing. Once again, they'll heavy up the formation, 12 personnel. Hosley at the right hip of King. The snap to Haynes, and a flag tossed on the snap. Somebody jumped off early.
False start. Offense, number 15. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So that'll be Luke Harpring, who does have 3 catches today for 39 yards. Second most receptions and receiving yards among Yellow Jackets. But it backs him up 5, make it 1st and 15 with 13:44 to go fourth quarter.
This Georgia Tech offense has been for the most part sharper in terms of penalties and sloppiness than in some other games, but rearing its head a little bit here in the second half.
5 wide empty backfield. Twins left, trips right. King now moseys underneath his center, Harrison Moore. Virginia Tech, a 4-man rush. Here's the snap, connects on the mesh with Hosley. Turns the corner, right side, 35-30. A cut back inside of the 25. Give them the first down to the 22-yard line. 19 more for Malachi Hosley. He's up over 100 rushing yards, and he has Georgia Tech sitting just outside the red zone.
Nice blocking on the edge by Georgia Tech. They come out in 5 wide, but it's essentially 11 personnel with a running back and a tight end in the game. And so you run what is essentially outside zone to the strong tight end. Really well executed.
See if they feed Malachi again. He's at the left rear of King. Tight end crouches down right. The snap, the mesh. It's a flip left sideline to Rivers on the screen, but he's knifed down back at the 26 for a loss of 4. Nice open field tackle there. And smoking out what Georgia Tech was trying to do. Joseph Reddish, the second TFL of the day, I believe, on screen passes as well.
Yeah, and after it was kind of back-to-back, great blocking on the edge to the right, and then they come back to the left with the screen pass, and Reddish just able to get past the receiver block. Kind of a necessary piece, effective blocking on the edge required for some of these Georgia Tech outside plays.
4th TFL for the Virginia Tech defense. It's 2nd and 14 from the Hokie 26. Pistol, Maddox the featured back. A rollout right by King. Shrugs off a tackle, turns the corner 20, cuts inside 15, hurdles over a man 5, into the end zone. Touchdown. All hail the King. Haynes King touchdown. 34-14 Jackets.
That was a nifty piece of running by Haynes King. Fleet foot from the from the quarterback from Longview, Texas. Georgia Tech rolling out almost like a reverse here. Gets the offensive lineman out in front. Great design, great run. And like I said, nice athletic feet from old number 10.
And the man who was 10 yards downfield laying that last block for Haynes King was Malachi Carney, the right tackle. Second rushing touchdown of the day for Haynes King. Extra point on the way from Burr. Up and good. Yeah, Haynes King continues to add to his tally. 9 rushing touchdowns on the season. He's got 54 rushing yards on the day, part of 252 on the ground from the Yellow Jackets, and now it's a 3 touchdowns game. 35-14 Jackets, 11:54 to go, 4th quarter from Atlanta. We're back after this on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
When it comes to buying a vehicle, the name to remember is Jim Ellis Automotive. Hi, I'm Stacey Ellis, Vice President of the Jim Ellis Automotive Group. As Georgia's largest family-owned dealer group, we offer car shoppers unmatched advantages, starting with access to more than 5,500 new, certified pre-owned and pre-owned vehicles. With 21 convenient locations across Metro Atlanta and 17 top automotive brands, we have the selection you want and competitive pricing to fit your budget. But more importantly, we've made the buying process quick, easy, and convenient with the Jim Ellis Expressway. Visit one of our state-of-the-art showrooms for a top-tier customer service experience or shop from the comfort of home. Browse our entire inventory of more than 5,500 cars, trucks, and SUVs, calculate your payment, apply for financing, and even start your trade-in process online. It's car buying on your terms. And don't forget, Jim Ellis buys cars too. It's the safe and easy way to get maximum value for your car. To get started, visit JimEllis.com. Jim Ellis Automotive, where you can always expect the best.
Chicken.com.
You'll get the football news you need in your car and while you work when you hit up the locker room weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on the Fan and the Fan app.
Is Yellow Jackets football, driven by Hyundai on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
Tech goes 9 plays, 83 yards, second rushing touchdown of the day for Haynes King to push the lead to 35-14 over Virginia Tech. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves. This is Georgia Tech football.
Every play of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets is live on WCNN North Atlanta,
a Dickey broadcasting station,
the Fan and the Fan app.
With Andrew Gardner, Chris Mooneyham on the sidelines. Our studio host, a row above us, Justin Hanover. And, of course, our network engineer, Isaiah Stewart, Andrew Demetra. Great to be with you from Bobby Dodd Stadium, Hyundai Field. And Georgia Tech, I think, putting a lot of minds at ease and a lot of heart rates lowering now after Virginia Tech cut the deficit to 7 on the first drive of the second half. Georgia Tech continuing to lean into its identity of being a punishing, unrepentant running team. They are no man. They are a remorseless rushing machine. Andrew Gardner.
Absolutely.
Some of you may get that reference. There's the kickoff by Burr. tumbling end over end, and another beaut for a touchback. Malachi Hosley, 11 carries, 129 rushing yards, and a touchdown. He has been outstanding today, but he certainly hasn't been the only one whose number has been called in that backfield. To back comes the Hokies offense. Kyron Drones, 8 of 15 for 93 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Does have the lone rushing score for the Hokies and a team-high 69 rushing yards. I think with this score where it is, that might be the last that we see of Tyrion Stewart, who really commanded a lot of respect with his rushing ability. Marcellus Hawkins, the redshirt junior, planted beside Drones, trips right, a receiver left. Snap to Drones. He tosses short side left to Hawkins. Gets a block at the edge. 30. Over an ankle tackle. 35. Twisting down the sideline. 45. 50. And into Georgia Tech territory before he's finally brought down from behind at the 47 by Matthew Alexander.
That was a nice run by Marcellus Hawkins. And also, you talk about bringing out Stewart. Marcellus makes more sense as the running back in these kind of outside run, throwing the ball situations as well. Expect to see him moving forward.
And a nice shake and bake to force a missed tackle at the edge. He goes for a gain of 27. Play fake for Drones. He climbs the pocket. He breaks away right. Tosses down the right sideline. Caught at the 25 and tiptoeing out of bounds. Goes to Kai Heath, but there was a flag tossed in the backfield.
Like Jordan Vandenberg earned a hold by the Virginia Tech offensive line.
Holding. Offense number 55. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Tomas Remak, a redshirt senior left tackle, transferred from West Virginia. Now, Jordan Vandenberg was actually recruited to Penn State by former fired Virginia Tech head coach Brent Pry. But that does back up the Hokies and wipe out that 22-yard completion. 1st and 20 now at the Hokies 43. 11:07 and counting, fourth quarter. Only 238 yards of offense today for the Hokies. They'll spread the field out, twins right, a receiver and a tight end split left. Georgia Tech brings a safety blitz, handoff, and winding up the middle past the 45 goes Hawkins. He slaloms ahead to the 47 for a pickup of 4 before the tackle by E.J. Leipzig. He got his first career start at Virginia Tech last year and coming off a team-high tying 8 tackles against Wake Forest. He was the subject of our Inside the Chart column on RamblinWreck.com. You can read that, I'd say, in bookstores everywhere, but just one website in particular, RamblinWreck.com. 2nd down and 16. Trips right, a receiver on the boundary. Drone stooped over. Staggered stance. Takes the snap, twiddles, finds the laces. Another flag tossed in the offensive backfield as he bolts up the middle across midfield to the 45. He's lashed onto by Tajay Butler and dives down to the 44. It's a gain for now of 9. But it's another hold against the Hokies. Georgia Tech has done such a good job, Andrew, all day long of collapsing and caving those pockets and forcing quick decisions from Kyron Drones and holding penalties as well.
Yeah, they've given this Hokies offensive line a lot of trouble, and by extension, Drones, and kind of forcing decisions, even pushing linemen into him, kind of like sacking him through other people. But it's been a good, effective team rush, and good to see from a team that's kind of struggled to get home, to be able to get home against this Hokies team that has not been the best pass protection unit in the ACC.
The left guard, Laith Ganem, whistled for that flag as he basically just tugged down Matthew Alexander. 2x2 7, 2nd and 26. The snap from the 37. Keep it on the ground. Hawkins has a crease down the right side, 45 to the 50. And clipped down inside Jacket territory at the 49, but a good gain there before Tay Harris got the stop. It brings up 3rd down and 13, though. 9:33, fourth quarter. Tech up 35 to 14. As Vandenberg comes back on, Braden Manley does as well. He'll join Amontre Bradford as the defensive ends for the Jackets, who today have 3 sacks, 4 TFLs. Trips left to receiver right. Drones hollers forward and gets it. Pays the throw, steps up in the pocket. He is hauled down from behind just to gain a 2 to the 45. Tried to hit the escape half up the middle, but Amontre Bradford reeled him in with that tractor beam arm of his. Jordan Vandenberg was there as well to prevent him from breaking through. It's 4th down and 8.
Well, it wasn't a tackle for a loss, but it was a big play by the Georgia Tech defensive line nonetheless. Stopped Kyron Drones from probably picking up this first down. Again, a good tandem rush by Vandenberg and Amontre Bradford. And what brings up an obvious 4th down situation. Really, this is the turning point. If Virginia Tech wants to stay in it, they got to make a conversion.
Now, Hokie scored a touchdown on a 4th and 9. They've got trips left. A receiver right. Line to gain is the Tech 37. Shotgun snap. Jackets rush forward. Drones scanning, throwing over the middle. It is caught by Heath at the 21, breaking from left to right, and he's got the first down. So the drive continues for the Hokies. A 4th and 8 conversion and a 4th and 9 conversion today. They're 0 of 6 on 3rd downs, and they're 2 of 2 on 4th down.
A disappointing follow-up to the great 3rd down play, but keeps the Hokie dreams alive.
Heath who caught that pass, the slot right. One receiver outside the numbers left. Heath now in orbit motion. The pivot and the handoff. Hawkins sprinting straight ahead to the 20, make it the 17-yard line. We'll give him 4 before the tackle by Tajay Butler. Approaching the midway mark in the 4th quarter, though, and Virginia Tech needing 3 scores. They've already eaten up close to 5 minutes on this drive, trailing the Jackets 35-14. Marcellus Hawkins up to a team-high 77 rushing yards. He's flanked at the left hip with Drones. Tight end Hairston crams left and settles. The snap, and it's Drones calling his own number, hunting for room up the right side, cross the 15, and snowed under at the 13. That's even with the first down marker. And looks like they will give him the first down.
Coming back to the quarterback, kind of lead power by Kyron Drones. The Georgia Tech defense clearly, not wanting anything to get loose over the top, and Virginia Tech taking a little bit of advantage of that, but it's taken them a long time to move this ball down the field.
6:46 and ticking 4th quarter. 1st and 10 Hokies at the 11. So not a goal-to-go situation. A slot left in the tight end Gosnell. 2 receivers on the right. They'll empty out the backfield for Drones. Twiddles, finds the laces, guns it over the middle. It is incomplete on the slant. Amari Harvey was in phase as they tried to find Aiden Green breaking from right to left.
Tight coverage by Harvey, nowhere to get that ball in there.
And tried to feather that into a tight window. Makes Drones 9 of 17. Now 2nd and 10 from the 11. Georgia Tech held Wake Forest 2 weeks ago to 1 of 5 in red zone touchdowns. Heath again, the slot right. Green beyond him. A receiver left in Donovan Green. 6'2", 7th-year senior. Shotgun snap, handoff Hawkins. Starts right, counters left, and he fights down to the 6 for a gain of 5. Andre Fuller with the tackle.
And Hawkins able to find the gap and have an effective run. Again, Georgia Tech more worried about it getting to the end zone, bringing them down to force a 3rd down, but the clock just ticking away. Certainly 4th down territory, but this is the ball game. This play and the next one. This is all the time they have.
3rd and 5 from the 6. Twins left, a receiver right. Drones with Hawkins. Georgia Tech coiled in tight on the line. They motion out the back. Hesitating. Drones runs left. He shakes a tackle at the 5. Dives to the 4. It's not enough for the first down. E.J. Light's able to clamp onto his leg. Haul him down. It's 4th down and about 2.
Well, Georgia Tech standing strong on another 3rd down. But can they finally stop Virginia Tech on 4th down? Or are they going to be 3 for 3 in the game?
Now they'll bring in a second tight end in Harrison, who caught the touchdown pass to begin this second half from Drones. So 12 personnel. Tajay Butler, A.J. Hoffler come in for Omar Daniels and Andre Fuller. It's 4th and 2 Hokies from the 3. They condense the formation. A tight end on each side of the line. Drones from the shotgun. Hawkins to his left. Here's the snap. Drones rolls left. Now flips it into the end zone. Caught Hairston for the touchdown. Just a shot put of a throw as he wheeled out left and found Hairston leaking free behind the defense for his 2nd touchdown catch of the day. 4:58 to go. It's 35-20 Georgia Tech.
Well, Kyron Drones and his legs just drew the attention of 4 Georgia Tech defenders. There's 4 guys out there. There's 3 Hokie offensive players. A little miscommunication. You can understand based on the situation, but someone has to cover the receiver sliding out. But the only good thing about that drive for Georgia Tech is just the simple amount of time it took. And so now Tech has a chance to get the ball back and just burn out the clock.
And the Hokies are setting up for a 2-point conversion. They'll place the ball on the left hash. They'll cluster a diamond receiver to the wide side. 1 receiver left. Drones all alone in the backfield. Fields the snap. Drops 3 steps. Dancing around. Giving up ground. Rolling to his right as he turned the corner. Looking to the back right corner, and it's tipped away. Nice pass breakup by Amari Harvey, trying to find Takai Heath sitting on that back right pylon. So it makes it 35-20 still. Georgia Tech on top. With 4:58 remaining, fourth quarter. We'll take the timeout. Back after this on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
It's football time, which turns Thursday and Sunday into the best days of the week. Well, they just got better, because now through October 26th, Keno has 30% higher payouts during bonus hours. Win $500, it becomes $650. That's like getting extra field goal points for scoring a touchdown. So play Keno online and anywhere Keno is sold and get 30% higher payouts during bonus hours. Thursdays 6 to 8 p.m. and Sundays 1 to 3 p.m. Only from the Georgia Lottery. Play responsibly.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
You won't be able to get through the college football season without me, Chuck Oliver, and Matt Chernoff, weekdays from 2 to 6 on 680 The Fan and the Fan app.
The field is buzzing. Now more Georgia Tech football, driven by Hyundai on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
Well, still some time for Virginia Tech to play with, but they needed 6:56 across 11 plays to get into the end zone. 3-yard touchdown pass on 4th down. Kyron Drones to Jarekus Hairston, who began his career as a walk-on and was a high school quarterback in the state of Virginia. Showing his hands for a second time today. 2-point conversion failed, though, and it's 35-20 Georgia Tech with 4:58 to play. Hokies still have 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute timeout, but we're still scratching our heads a little bit, Andrew, as to why interim coach Philip Montgomery opted to go for the 2-point conversion there.
Yeah, you and I were discussing.
We're trying to do the math, and it's just not mathing.
Math ain't mathing. I mean, I'm sure there's somebody out there listening has got some analytics reason as to why you go for 2 there, but my only thought is, you go for 2. If you miss it, you can go for 2 again, but when you were down 21, this would have made you down 14. I don't get it, but...
Well, Georgia Tech has its hands team on. They only have 1 person deep, and that's Eric Rivers between the hashes at around the 18-yard line. Kyle Lowe is out there along with John Love for a potential onside kick.
Number 38. And it looks like they're setting it up. They got the old 2-kicker look, so you don't know which way it's coming.
Georgia Tech certainly poised and ready. There's the tweet of the whistle. Lowe angling toward the far side. Takes a high hop right to Canyon on that second bounce. Snags it out of the sky and flops down at the Virginia Tech 48. Nicely done by Isaiah Canyon. Helps to have a receiver on the hands team. Before this next Georgia Tech offensive series, here's Chris.
Well, that was certainly the type of drive, Andy, that you want when you're trying to shut down a ball game and pull away from an opponent. Also nice to see Trey Maddox get a first down on that drive. Remember, Maddox, a highly prized running back recruit coming out of high school, played for 2 legendary programs in Buford and Parkview, and has dealt with lower body injuries each of the last 2 years. Great to see that kid back in the fray.
And no question. That is Buster Faulkner's alma mater as well. And also, Trey Maddox, he's OSHA certified. And that's true. Architecture major.
The more you can do.
There you go. Jamal Haynes, the sidecar for King. Stockton slot right in 1st and 10 from the Hokie 48. They fake the jet sweep. Sidearm to right side to Dean Patterson on the slip screen, but he can't turn upfield. Only a half yard as he was lassoed down there. And a flag toss well downfield. It was Harrison Moore who was blocking a Hokie, 20 yards downfield, and a flag comes out.
I don't like that flag.
He was blocking the safety, Tyson Flowers.
The old blocking them too good flag.
After the play, personal foul, necessary roughness, offense, number 52. 15-yard penalty. The down counts will be second down.
Yeah.
Virginia.
And the down counts as well. So it'll be second down and 25 down. And the ball backed up to the Georgia Tech 38. Yeah, you like effort, but you have to know when to jerk the reins a bit, even as an offensive lineman, play into the echo of the whistle. So second down and 24 officially.
Second and 24 from the 38.
4:49 to go. Georgia Tech does not need to give yardage back to the Hokies. And the clock is stopped. Trips left. Jamal Haynes, the pistol back. He takes it, angling left, and he gets tripped up at the 36. Loses a couple there. Now it's third down and 26. And the Hokies use their first timeout. Well, you recover the onside kick inside plus territory, but then the minimal gain on the tunnel screen compounded by the personal foul unnecessary roughness penalty, and then a negative play on the run by Jamal Haynes, and all of a sudden it's third down and 26.
It's a really unfortunate series of events and not what you want trying to close out a football game. Just some sloppiness from Georgia Tech, and you don't know about the timing of the whistle and all that, but just the kind of penalties you can't have trying to close the game out. Brings up third and 26 to try to convert, but Georgia Tech not where they want to be right here, but trying to put a good play together that at least keeps the clock going, right? I don't expect to see them throw this, maybe force a timeout, maybe a draw or a throw underneath, try to force a timeout, and probably going to have to get back on the field with the defense when you were hoping to burn the last 4.5 minutes.
Now the Jackets are 6 of 10 on third downs today, but it's third down and 26. They'll deploy 3 receivers right, 2 left for King. Staring at a 4-man rush. Orbit motion from Hosley. And a pump fake. And Haynes King trying to run left, but he gets tackled after a pickup of maybe 1. But he, in fact, loses 1 on the play. 4:37 to go, and Virginia Tech uses its second timeout.
Yeah, I think that was a called draw. I think that they're faking the screen just to run Haynes King. And more than anything, I believe that Coach Key and staff wanted to make Virginia Tech
takes a second timeout of the half.
Burn that timeout. It's a clock
30-second timeout.
And they're going to come after Marshall Nichols here.
Marshall Nichols, big leg. There's a chance to pin them inside the 20 with this. He's had some really impressive kicks this year with long yardage and sticking that wedge in there. So this is where Marshall Nichols really is an important, kind of a weapon in a situation like this where a team's trying to make a late-game comeback.
The penalties continuing to flare up at inopportune times for Georgia Tech as they try to preserve this win. As they go 3 plays, negative 18 yards, only took up 21 seconds of clock, and so defensively that could not have gone any more ideally for the Hokies. With 1 timeout remaining plus the 2-minute timeout, but Georgia Tech has the 15-point lead, 35-20. Georgia Tech special teams is in crisp all season. Ronnie Thomas is the long snapper, taking over as the starter for Will Benton IV, who got injured in the Wake Forest game. 2 protectors in front of Nichols. Zip back to him, and he boots this away. High, tight spiral, and backpedaling goes Spencer, catches at the 10. He jukes right, now swings out wide left. He's got some blocks at the 20, being chased by Elko, who escorts him out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Crowd booing. They thought there was a block in the back, but not great starting field position for the Hokies, who are hoping to make more of a run back out of it with 4:24 to go. 35-20 Tech on top. Timeout on the field. We will as well on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
One of the toughest jobs in law enforcement is telling a family that a loved one has been killed by a drunk driver. That's why Georgia law enforcement works every day to keep drunk drivers off the road. Every DUI arrest could be one less family to lose someone to drunk driving. You can help. Hand the keys to a designated driver or call a ride service. It saves lives and prevents a costly DUI arrest. Drive sober or get pulled over. Brought to you by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Georgia Tech homecoming is more than a game, it's tradition. Join us back on the flats for homecoming as the Yellow Jackets take on Syracuse on October 25th, presented by Invesco QQQ. Relive the great moments of the past and be prepared to make new ones. Pulling it, curling right into the end zone. Touchdown, Jackets! Jackets stress the lead. Visit RamblinRack.com/tickets to get your seats today. Sting 'em.
Stream every Georgia Tech game totally free on the all-new Fan app. Download it now for Apple or Android and listen to the Jackets anywhere. The Jackets are on the field. It's Georgia Tech football on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
Now, the Jackets have left this door ajar here at home. Trying to extend this 8-game home win streak. 35-20, they lead Virginia Tech, but after they recovered the onside kick following the Virginia Tech touchdown, went backwards 18 yards in only 34 seconds off the clock, and now still work to be done defensively. Trying to tame this Virginia Tech team that did have a road win in the ACC earlier this year versus North Carolina State, but fell by a touchdown to Wake Forest in Blacksburg last Saturday. That win, by the way, over Virginia Tech was the Hokies' first one-score win since 2022. They have lost 8 straight, but they're on a heater right now when it comes to one-score games. They have 1 timeout remaining, plus the 2-minute timeout. Georgia Tech has held the Hokies to 0 of 7 on 3rd down, but 3 of 3 on 4th down. 2 of those conversions went for touchdowns.
Yeah, 4th down defense has been a killer for Georgia Tech today, and there's been a lot of good football and a handful of sloppy plays that have kept this game close. Georgia Tech really needs to lock in for the last 4 minutes and 24 seconds to prevent a miracle comeback by Virginia Tech.
Hokies trot back on from left to right. Kyron Drones, 119 passing yards, team high 83 rushing yards. He's got a touchdown throwing and running. Georgia Tech not making life easy on itself. Trips right, a receiver left. Drones measures up the front. Takes the snap low. Straight drop. Fires over the middle. Caught Heath breaking left at the 35 to the 40 and gets escorted out of bounds at the 44-yard line. Boy, Takai Heath with 7 catches coming into this game with a 4th. That's a first down pickup.
Should be able to find some space in the middle, reverse field, and get upfield for a more effective play on first down.
Jai Gilmore is in off coverage on him in the slot. 1 receiver on the boundary. Snap to Drones as a grounder. Off a play fake, steps up in the pocket, now airs it out down the sideline on the seam. It is caught. Green able to fend off his man at the 19 of the Jackets.
And Harvey is down.
And so Virginia Tech has it inside the red zone now on 2 plays with 3:51 to go, and Harvey is shaken up.
On the field for an injured player of the defense.
That does not look good.
Is breaking back toward the football, and just, Aiden Green won that break and was able to haul that in. And Hamari Harvey immediately took his helmet off and just tossed it down in frustration.
Harvey was in position, and when he went to make a break on the ball, he just went down, and his ankle, the look I got did not look good, Andy.
No, definitely not. And all the athletic trainers and head coach Brent Key surrounding the redshirt senior, who's had a terrific day and a terrific season as well. 3:51 to play. And you hate that they have the duffel bag out for potential air cast, and they are unsheathing that air cast, unfortunately, for Amari. Georgia Tech is up 15, trying to hold off a Hokie rally, but that's sort of the last thing on your mind right now. As a hush falls over Bobby Dodd Stadium at Hyundai Field. And Amari kind of knew at the moment he landed.
You could see the frustration. He took his helmet off, almost threw it. Just, you feel bad for the young man.
Yeah, Georgia Tech defensively, they're kind of huddling together, and they're in prayer or just huddling together, trying to unify themselves and say, "Hey, listen, we still got a job to do, and we got to do it for number 3. He's counting on us." They help up Amari. I don't think they put the air cast on him. But they do have a towel kind of over his head. He's not putting any weight on that right leg. Tough sight to see for somebody who's been so good, and Brent Key has really gushed about how Amari his maturity has just grown by leaps and bounds since he came here out of the transfer portal from Auburn. Leads the Yellow Jackets in pass breakups, 15 tackles on the year, a couple of TFLs. I'm going to bring him into the medical tent to begin, not straight to the locker room. And Georgia Tech has to find its bearings here as the Hokies have it driving with the ball center of the field at the Tech 19.
Well, a lot has happened to this Georgia Tech team in just the last few minutes. Got to handle this kind of emotional hit. The game has just taken an odd turn, and losing a leader like Amari Harvey, they got to find it in themselves to make this stand.
Stack receivers each way for Drones. Out of the timeout, working from left to right. Takes the snap. Bobbin in the pocket. He's pressured, and he's sacked. Oh, he tries to throw it. Nobody was nearby. He was outside the tackle box. They'll call it incomplete instead. Braden Manley's so close to a sack. They do throw the flag, though, as I don't think that pass got to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I agree, Andy. I think he's outside the pocket, but that ball did not make it all the way back to the
Intentional grounding. Offense number 1. The last down for spot of the foul. The second down.
A great pressure there by Braden Manley, who had 9.5 sacks last year for Mercer. SoCon Defensive Player of the Year, bearing down from the blind side of Drones, who tried to evacuate the pocket. And as he was sort of falling to the turf, tried to chuck that ball away. Knew he was outside the tackle box, but didn't have enough on that throw to get it to the line of scrimmage. So it's 2nd and 22. They back it up to the Tech 31. Trips left to receiver right. Hawkins, the standing tail. Snap to Drones. Straight drop, fires over the middle, and a sliding catch inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. That's Isaiah Spencer, the Jackson State transfer. Brings up 3rd down and 4. After an 18-yard gain.
Well, that's an area of the field this Virginia Tech team has had some success with here in this last couple of drives. Kind of middle of the field, behind the linebackers, in front of the safeties. They've come back to that several times when they've needed it.
3:07 to go. Trips right, receiver left. Drones has really found a rhythm here. 175 passing yards. With a staggered stance, takes the snap low. Retreats. Now scrambles away to his left, trying to win the race to the edge on Eford, and he will scoot out of bounds, I think, shy of the line to gain. Yeah, they'll mark him out at the 11. He needed to reach the 10, and it's 4th down. With 2:49 to go, the clock should not be stopping here. But it's 4th and 1. And now it continues to wind. Hokies are 3 of 3 on 4th down today. That makes them 0 of 8 on 3rd down. Slot right. It's Drones with Hawkins in the backfield. 4th down and 1. The snap. Drones tries to shrug off a tackle. He breaks away. Still on his feet. He's pursued by the Jackets and buried back at the 13-yard line. A TFL on 4th down as the Jackets surrounded and swarmed him and take over on downs.
Georgia Tech all over the Kyron Drones run. Very little respect for the handoff to Hawkins. But, I mean, hats off to the effort from Drones, shaking off multiple defenders, but great team rally to bring him down for their first 4th down stop of the game.
Omar Daniels was there. Clayton Powell-Lee was there. Neither could wrestle down Drones, but finally Cayman Spalding did. And with 2:20 to go, Georgia Tech takes over, leading 35-20. A good time to have your first 4th down stop, Andrew. Yeah, give Kyron Drones credit simply for extending the play.
I mean, yeah, he paid for it, but he shook off multiple players. I mean, really competing hard down the stretch.
Jamal Haynes, the featured back. And he gets the handoff from Haynes King, bouncing right at the 15, turns the corner 20. A stutter step inside and up to the 24 for a gain of 11. It'll take us to the 2-minute timeout. When in doubt, feed number 1.
Not a bad strategy at all. And I think you're just going to see run, try to kill this clock.
Run, and run into the locker room with a win. 35-20, Tech on top of Virginia Tech. 2-minute timeout from Bobby Dodd Stadium, Hyundai Field. We're back after this on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
Here comes the Ramblin' Wreck. My family and I love watching Georgia Tech football, though it's hard to choose between the big screen at home and the excitement of being in the stands. Either way, Scana Energy's part of the action as a proud partner of Georgia Tech. So join Scana and my family in cheering on the Yellow Jackets this season. Sign up with Scana today and get up to $100. Call 877-GO-SCANA or visit scanaenergy.com/jackets for details. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply.
It's Dari from R.S. Andrews. And people always ask, what's the R.S. and R.S. Andrews stand for? R.S. means rapid service. I know what it's like waiting for a repair guy to show up, so I made sure when you call us, we have somebody ready to jump to action. Rapid service. Your AC needs to keep working for several more weeks. So if you're hearing a clunk, clank, or smelling some stank, we're ready to help. R.S. means rapid service. Schedule at rsandrews.com.
This is Kelly Kroll. Listen for me with the Locker Room team, Tuesday and Thursday mornings from 6 to 10 on 680 The Fan.
Now back to the field for more Georgia Tech football, driven by Hyundai on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
Sun starting to lower here in Midtown Atlanta late on a Saturday afternoon. Glad to have you with us in the Georgia Tech Sports Network. Jackets 2 minutes away from its first 6-0 start since 2011. Already with its highest regular season ranking since 2011. At number 13 in the country, leading Virginia Tech 35-20. Jackets scored the first 18 points of this game. Hokies had closed at 21-14 early in the third quarter. Tech then consecutive touchdowns to make it 35-14, I should say. Fourth down stop as the Hokies were driving, trailing 35-20. And the Jackets got an 11-yard run there from Jamal Haynes to take us to the 2-minute timeout. Another game where, Georgia Tech looks poised to get the win, Andrew, but some lulls, some lapses along the way that make you feel like this was shy of the complete game that they had aspired to have?
I think so. It's one of the better ones, but there's been some moments where they just kind of weren't sharp and some mistakes, again, that need to be cleaned up, but they find themselves in a situation right where you want to be. Just hand the ball off a few times and take a knee, and whenever you can end a game like that, it's a good day at the office.
Haynes King, good day at the office. 20-24 for 213 and a touchdown. He's got 2 rushing touchdowns as well. Malachi Hosley, 11 carries, 129 yards and a touchdown. Jamal Haynes, the sidecar for King. They connect on the mesh. Jamal takes it, wraps off right tackle to the 25. He gets collared down at the 27, but stays in bounds following a gain of 3. Gets propped back up, holding his left hand against the back of his helmet as the Hokies use their last timeout. Ooh, that kind of looked close to a face mask, I would say, as we see the replay. It was Caleb Woodson, the inside linebacker.
Well, unfortunately, the person whose opinion matters disagrees with us both.
And I'm sure Jamal and Haynes were kind of instructing him to look up to the scoreboard to see the replay for himself. But it's 2nd and 7, and the Hokies now powerless to stop the clock.
Andy, I've tried that before, but for some reason it never worked with the officials. But take a look. It's right there.
Yeah.
He grabbed my face.
Whatever I said on the field is the call that stands, right?
That's true.
Especially if it's non-reviewable, as that play was.
My word is law, judge, jury, and executioner.
There you go. Has a ref ever used that line on you?
They have not, but if they did, I would have been like, fair enough.
And they've been thinking it if they didn't say it out loud.
This is true.
Haynes King with a 14th career game with both a rushing and passing touchdown. He broke the school record in the last game versus Wake Forest. Tech emerged from the huddle quickly. They'll split Haynes out wide left. Canyon beyond him. Oh, and look at this. Tight end crouches down behind Haynes, who hesitates, feels for a crease up the middle, and he squeezes through to the 31 for a gain of 4. It's one last drive from the back up to the 32. I believe that was J.T. Byrne. Yes, his pistol back. It sure was. Running that pistol power that we've seen from time to time.
It is. They like to put him back there and use him as the fullback, although I'm waiting for J.T. Byrne to get his handoff.
Jamal Haynes is helping Haynes King get his uniform back over his left shoulder pad in the huddle. 3rd down and 1. 1:17 to go. Play clock is down to 10 as the Yellow Jackets break the huddle. Very wide split between Haynes and King. Two receivers up top on the right. The snap to King. Cradles, runs right, lowers his shoulder, spins up to the 35, give him the first down. And with that, Brent Keaton takes the headset off. Couple of kneel downs in Georgia Tech. We'll go to 6-0. And the crowd starting to sense it. Victory is at hand for the Yellow Jackets, a 9th straight at Bobby Dodd Stadium at Hyundai Field. Gives the Jackets 483 yards of offense. They'll lose a couple on some kneel downs. I don't think they mind.
When you take care of business and you run the 4-minute offense like you're supposed to, you get the opportunity to run the best play in football, the victory formation.
As Haynes stamps that right knee into the turf at 31 seconds to go, and that will do it. 35-20. As Georgia Tech takes care of business today at home over the Hokies. And rack up a 6-0 start for Georgia Tech, now 3-0 in the ACC. On a day where, well, it was fair to question if Georgia Tech could sustain its power in the run game versus Virginia Tech. It has really been stout stopping the run. Georgia Tech answers that with 268 rushing yards, 481 on the day. And as the final seconds tick off the clock, Georgia Tech victorious once again. Our final score, Jackets 35, Hokies 20. Coming up, it's our Ramblin' Wreck postgame show. Andrew and I will set the table for you in just a moment on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.